Hello everyone, so this is chapter 44, which means that counting the Darwinian character creation, we are at, how many sessions did we do of that?
Like five, six at least.
At
Probably
least
more, honestly.
six. So,
It was more like 12 if you count before one of our players dropped and we got boo.
Well, yeah, I wasn't counting that, so.
so, I'm gonna say that we are roughly around this time rounding a full year playing this. And that's not counting
Wait,
things
shit!
we have missed along the way. So it's longer than that. We started something in August 2019.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're
those are
really
good
close to
times.
a full year.
Wait, we didn't have COVID.
Uh, in the before times, before the disease came.
Before the Fire Nation attacked.
uh, don't you fucking say such things, Jackal, or the year isn't over.
Shit! Yeah, China might literally attack with the problems in the China Sea. South China Sea.
Okay,
I'd be more concerned about their problems with India, but
so, Jackalor, why don't we start with you? You precious sausage, you. Um, you are interred in the medical center for several days because apparently the Space Marine said that you had come into dangerous contact with a psychic parasite, and that you probably would have hatched by now if you were infected, but you know, it's safer to check. So, there's a lot of brain scans and lying on your ass when there's more important work to be done. It's actually kind of pleasant. They're, respectful. Nobody's riding your ass. Crew aren't throwing you mean looks. Nobody's tried to steal your gun like, people might have done on the transport. It's good shit. Food is actually decent, you know.
Yeah.
So, times are good. And yeah, after that, you have the opportunity to present your findings to your direct superiors and to present your findings to Lord Caden personally if you feel there's anything sensitive that is for his eyes only. And now Jack Lord has thunk. How much do I tell them?
Probably trying all of it.
Okay. So you don't need to recount in character every single detail, but give me the bullet points. What are the topics you mentioned?
We went to Dusk. Apparently, as I'm sure the Inquisition is aware, there was the Horlocks had tampered with one of the lockdown places there
Mm-hmm.
at some point. And other than that, we fought the Dusk Hag, apparently, which is quite disturbing that it would take an interest in this mission.
Mm-hmm.
But it does point that Harlock himself may still be active at some point, at somewhere.
Okay, they take very careful note of Harlock maybe being active. They don't like that idea.
Mm-hmm. There was also I'll mention the different artifacts that we found and the how we stabilized the field that was inside the building of the
by
complex,
shutting it off.
shutting it off. Yes, and it transported us to Mara, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And during that time, we met during our temporal shenanigans, we met the Space Marine from another time.
Some bureaucrat is like, He was declared killed in action! That is not reversible!
He's officially a dead man.
Dead man walking.
Okay.
He's like that one Finnish guy who was declared dead incorrectly in paperwork, and because he did not file his paperwork to get that retracted within a month of that happening, he's still legally dead.
Okay, so anything else you mentioned? Like specifics, you mentioned the device, the artifacts, anything else that comes to mind as important to point out? That
Our
includes
conclusion?
theories you wish to draw.
What was the theory again we had? I don't remember.
That the Harlock twins are going after original equipment to try and assemble an equivalent to that entire facility out of the actual Archaeotech,
Yeah,
so that they can reach their
because
grandfather.
Harlock himself apparently. Yeah, I remember that. Harlock himself only had access to sorcery and his wits, but the new Harlocks apparently have access to the old stuff, which is bad because that implies that they can do something worse than what Harlock did.
All right.
I mean, everything we've seen so far just points to them using it
You'll
to
be
create
able to make
another
your own
portal
report,
device.
Adolphus. It's fine. Jack Lore can draw his own conclusions. And he's a fanatic. It's witchcraft. It's techno witchcraft. That makes it double bad. That's a legitimate
Exactly,
yes.
attitude to take. Okay. Excellent. You are commended for your fine service, and on the request of the Space Wolf, you will also have an interview with Senior Astrotelepathica to double check your technique on controlling your powers and to make sure that you're in all manner a upstanding and skilled member of that organization.
Have I even used my powers?
Yes, you haven't. That's why he's so fucking concerned. It's like, what kind of witch is this? Is it broken?
We're not using powers if we don't have to nowadays.
They're usually
You've
safe,
shown great
Jackalor.
restraint.
No, they're not.
That's unheard of.
But yeah, they examine you. Your meager skill at telepathy is working as intended. Can swing a force sword around just fine. You know, it's a formality mostly, but it's kind of thing like, while you're here, why not check if someone has concerns?
Fair enough.
Okay. Alright, then. Why don't we go to Adolphus? Why don't you do the same thing? Bullet points, what do you have to report?
Most definitely in high detail the events on Dusk, everything we saw, including the alternate universe version of said asshole Arminius
Mm-hmm.
and his acolytes.
It's probably fine, just the war playing tricks on you.
Most likely. Detail that they're most likely, due to our conclusions, trying to build a new portal system to reach the center of this webway network.
Mm-hmm.
Using classical Archaeotech instead of weird improvised nonsense like their grandfather did.
I mean, it's
The
far more than the grandfather. Erasmus Harlock is like way, way in the past.
I mean, he's what, their great grandfather?
Not really, no. Their grandfather was an inquisitorial acolyte, and he was many generations removed from Erasmus already.
Okay. Well, regardless, that's what they're attempting. At least as far as we can tell. Uh,
Okay, anything else?
I'll make sure to detail our time from the events on Mara, on the ships, uh, the battle over Ikavor, and then all of the events related to the space elves
Mm-hmm.
because they're extremely suspicious. Detail the suspicious behavior of Temujin with him constantly disappearing at inopportune times. Make it blatantly obvious that the space elves most likely have known all of this all along, have been aware of this ancient civilization's webway network, and that they were most likely trying to stop the heretics from getting to it.
Okay. Well, that's useful to know, and they're gonna. So they're not gonna go into details, but they're gonna sort of, wink, wink, nod, nod, tell you that, that confirms some of the other things they've discovered. Um, so, let's see, how would it have worked out? Let's do it this way, because this is something that matters. Which one of these is actually good at something? Um, yeah, he would probably be absolutely shit at it. Let's see. Where the fuck? Right. I'm just quickly checking through some of the old characters for a thing. But it looks like none of you have the right sort of skills. Think Marcus went with them. Oh fuck, I know how he would use Marcus though. Oh, that is absolutely disgusting an idea. Okay, let's okay. So, we'll do it this way. One, you'll get information that one of the ships of a certain ally Varminius of the Griff family will have been sighted putting on a contested world in the Severian Dominate, and contested because there's sort of both Imperial and Severian forces are sort of pressuring the world to pick a side, but it's kind of trying to pay tithes to both sides and stay neutral, as you do when you're being a dumb cunt. I'm just going like, no, we're totally with you. We just are unable to commit our full weight to the war effort, honest. Internal troubles, you understand.
Ah, yes. Playing both sides and losing to both.
Now, this is interesting because that Archaeotech ship, it's extremely efficient and extremely stealthy that Arminius stole. But it requires a higher grade of fuel than most void ships use. And along with the usual resupplies, that Griff ship made a special request for that high-grade fuel.
Suspicious.
This was maybe 5 or 6 months ago.
Ah, yes. Space travel.
Somewhere to the north of the Screaming Vortex. Along the route that you know that the Space Hulk in question tends to take through the warp.
So he's still going after that old ship.
I mean, he kind of has to. He doesn't have a choice in the matter.
It's win or die! He
Yeah.
either rides that bitch to Terra and is like, sup cunts, or he gets gunned down. See, it's a lot easier to survive an Imperial battle group when you have black hole guns to turn on it. But, yes, he's somewhere up there. Now, several Inquisitors have denounced Ilias as a heretic, based on evidence and past indiscretions. Ilias has in turn declared them heretics for attempting to start a meaningless conflict based on their own pride and arrogance in a time of crisis when all hands must work towards protecting the Imperium. So that's... there's been a few clashes between Acolyte warbands, but no real
it
open
happens.
fighting yet. It's kind of a tense... Now, this seems kind of like a dead end, guys. What the fuck do we do next? The Inquisitors loyal to Arminius are all, of course, declaring that they knew all along, as might be expected, and were just playing along to draw the heretic out. Or a couple of them have gone into hiding for whatever reason, and the consensus there is... I mean, they're obviously fucking heretics, whatever their reasons. And clearly they must be hiding something if they just went off the grid like that. Yes, other than that, the Silver Triumph is gonna reach the Scintillant docks in little more than a month, I'm gonna say at this point. Considering how long it's been. Well, maybe 2 months, something like that. They're on their way, as mentioned previously. Low on crew. Supplies, probably easier to get. Trained crew, well, that's where you're gonna have to get creative. Because they're gonna be down to maybe 30%. After they are
the
able
really
to...
shitty of the ratings dead?
There's a lot of people died. A lot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to hope most of the really shitty ratings are dead so we don't have to deal with a coup on the ship.
I don't think you quite understand what he meant.
Other than that... Crap, you fucking threw me off there. What was I thinking of? News. Yes, the AdMech and the information you're supposed to be worried about. The ones that are supposedly conspiring. That is bad news because those are also the factions that are the most vehement in opposing Inquisition. And if anything was to be done to them, it's gonna look like a real bitch move from the Inquisition side, and it's kind of on the edge of that point where the Inquisitors are starting, even Inquisitors are starting to have the kind of thoughts of, I'm not sure the AdMech is gonna go along with this one! Especially since there are some high-ranking names on those lists, and you know, some of those names have cruisers under their command.
Out of curiosity, how many cruisers does the Inquisition have at its disposal?
Like directly, not many.
Oof.
The AdMech,
Like
if it
half
was...
a dozen.
You wish. It has maybe like 3 counting the Hammer. The Inquisition would generally have smaller ships for covering more ground, fitted for specific purposes. The ones that, the big ones the Inquisition would have would be the black ships, but that's a separate fleet with a separate command structure.
Mm-hmm.
So
they're loyal to Terra, not to the sector.
Let's put it this way. You can't win a fleet-to-fleet engagement with the remnants of the AdMech and their explorator fleets. You just can't.
Yeah. At best, we could hope for a Pyrrhic victory on their side, that they win Pyrrhically, but let's not.
I think the sector governor might object to them bombing the inquisitorial base off of the planet. Generally because it's located like maybe half kilometer from his palace.
And lower down.
As I said, we don't want to give them a Pyrrhic victory, because that's still a victory.
I think at that point no one wins.
Yes, that's the point.
But yeah, your orders are to effectively assume that AdMech forces will be inclined to be hostile towards you and your mission, should they figure out what the fuck is going on with you.
So high subtlety, warranted.
So do with that what you will, but you know, that's a bad situation overall. And after that, and giving the basic reports, you have, let's say, 2 months to prepare or shop or do whatever on Scintilla while your ship gets here. And then probably another month while you try and find a new crew if you haven't done that already.
Well,
Yes.
can I buy cerebral implants?
Why would you need those? You have like no skills.
Those are for lores.
Uh-huh.
And I do have infused knowledge. And a bunch of forbidden lores.
Well, here's the thing, Jack Lore. The AdMech, those who are in the know, and that involves the Fabricator General of the Late Worlds in Exile. Since apparently some of those cunts filled him in, seem to blame the Inquisition for what happened to the Late Worlds. At least in part. So you can attempt to get high-grade implants, but it's gonna be an additional minus 20. Because the tech priests, they ain't playing ball anymore. Not with Inquisition.
Do I get bonuses for being Inquisition? And
No, you already get negatives for being Inquisition. Now, if you were at one of the minor Forge Worlds, where they have decided to say, fuck it, we're gonna be the new prominent Forge World in the area and have thrown their weight behind the Imperium, the case might be different, but the tech priests on Scintilla are very much from what used to be, and to an extent still is, the ruling faction. And that faction doesn't like Inquisition right now.
Yeah, these are the pissy ones. Congratulations, we're not in an ideal scenario for it.
Among other things, they have, while you're there, news are gonna come in that they have demanded unfettered access to the Archaeotech nav station, since it apparently holds an STC fragment or fragments based on their intelligence, and a demand for reparations for crew lost on board a particular explorator cruiser which was fired upon unjustly by inquisitorial forces. Combat logs attached. Now, you can recommend how to deal with them, but the cruiser's name does figure in your case files. In fact, the Inquisition will be happy if you have discovered anything to paint these assholes as heretics, because it's kind of like the message makes it clear that the Inquisition either pays reparations or they start telling people about this. And if you give in to demands like this, that's a power move they're making, right? So any excuse not to do that would be great. That would sort of force them to keep quiet on their end. By the silence, I assume nothing currently comes to mind.
Ugh. We'd have to spend a lot of time looking into them, wouldn't we?
That, unless you can come up with something relatively quickly, this is not necessarily the kind of thing that would wait for long.
Fair.
Now, access to the station, that's off the table. That's not going to happen. But even reparations for a single cruiser, that's an admission you did something wrong. That's a loss of face for the Inquisition, even if it happens in private. Sort of the thin end of a wedge, you know?
Yep.
Okay. Other than the implants, is there something you wish to buy or do? What do we know about this cruiser anyway?
That's the one you fired upon in that...
Yes, I know. What do we know about them?
Like second and third hand retellings of Jinzia's account of being on board. It seemed like a legit explorator cruiser. Weird that it was in such a fucky system, but that's about the only thing. Unless you can remember something that you can catch hold of. If there was something obvious, they wouldn't be asking you.
If I remember the cruiser, it was basically just high tech, but that's about it. They just added 2 and 2 together, I got to the system.
How much do we know about the extremely heretical ones that aren't from the Life Worlds that he blew up?
Given what the Eldari told you,
No, not from what they told us. Like what we knew from before that. On top of that,
you know that there was like a single scout ship that Arminius encountered and disposed of to protect his quest, but other than that, not much. It's a couple of names, they've been checked out. Some of them weren't there anymore. A couple of others got arrested. It's the Mechanicus, and apparently these ones have gotten wise. But in terms of those ones that you know now, and now that you know what to watch for, the movement of a particular explorator fleet is becoming concerning because there's a large fleet heading in this general direction from them that's gonna be here in a while. Like a proper one, with an Arc Mechanicus as the flagship.
Oh no.
Okay.
It's kind of like Stigi just went, why don't we take all the ones exploring in this direction, scoops them up and puts them here.
Well, I'm glad we won't be on Scintilla for another 7 months, hopefully.
Now, of course, for the Imperial Navy, and even the Inquisition, that's, you know, not a big deal if they attack directly, but in terms of politics, it's kind of hard to declare a battleship backed by like 4 or 5 cruisers and numerous escort craft as heretical. Kinda need a really ironclad reason for that, because that's a lot of assets, especially when the mechanics is already pissy as fuck.
Yeah.
Luckily for you, a certain prominent navigator house is very much eager to provide the Inquisition whatever they need in order to help with this quest. So, I will let you pick up a name navigator if you want.
Who is this navigator house?
It's the one we gave, that we gave shit back on the third moon of Mars.
Of course, they will expect the navigator to travel with a suitable entourage of about 200 of his own people, since they're sending an elite member of their, dynasty, but hey.
Hey, 200 free crewmen!
Oh, no. They would be sticking to their own section of the ship and doing their own analysis.
So all we have to do is, get their section be the first attacked.
I don't think you can manage that. Also,
yeah, that's not happening.
Also, if you turn off the void shields around the navigator's bar, yes, you might yeet the navigator's household. Hello, Demi. Good
Hello.
news, I'm giving you a free name navigator.
Yeah, thank you. We kind of need one.
This is our reward for long ago pissing off navigators as Arminius. Congratulations.
As you do.
I mean,
Sorry for being late. The assignment went on for a lot longer.
Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna comment, Demi.
Yeah, fuck you too. Work less, get home earlier so you're more rested for more campaigns.
Fuck you.
Exactly.
You're not gonna stay up till 1 a.m. for the sake of your dumb ass. Demi.
Yes.
So, you haven't done anything fucky, have you? In fact, once you return to home base, your Inquisitorial Master congratulates you because apparently the Space Marine commended you for your excellent initiative and team spirit.
Just doing my duty, sir.
In terms of the report, you don't need to roleplay the whole thing out because I know there was a lot, but the bullet points, what in particular do you go over in detail?
I think the important parts, obviously what we found out, right? That's no biggie. Put in some sort of additional interest, specifically on the whole shenanigans of time fuckery that seems to be going, and also put a very big interest on even Xenos knowing.
Mm-hmm.
Simply because, well, you know, if this group knows, then who knows how many more can know. So be vigilant on that, essentially, right?
Mm-hmm.
Other things to note. Well, if I remember right, Adolphus's character is Jordan, right?
Yeah, think so.
Yeah. Not really. I don't really do politeness to that degree. So, definitely put in the context that can be heavily a liability at times.
Okay. They will make a note of that.
But yeah, besides that, the whole rambling out of character that I did is kind of also in thought, so because I have a lot of logic anyways. So I can put in the report, for example, personal theories and stuff like that. And since we do have a report as well, probably another pinpoint is to notify the Inquisition the very likely chance of where we're going next, which I believe you said is the shipyard, which Arminius has a high chance of possibly visiting.
Eventually, yes. However, you will also receive a report once you are done reporting in, and they will make note that you're expecting him to go to that shipyard at some point. He has been. A Griff ship has been seen in up north of the Screaming Abyss and the Severian Dominate, requesting a special high grade of starship fuel used by the inquisitorial vessel that Arminius stole.
Well, good to know. How far away is that approximately?
Mm-hmm. Going by the map, well, you can reach the Severian Dominate and up here relatively easily. And then you would have to go, well, we can go to the Severian Dominate map because we have that somewhere here.
Of course we do.
Not on Calixtus Coronas, but that's a nice map to have as well.
It's a more useful map in this case just because we can see the general path of the ship that we know about.
I just don't like that this map doesn't have, the warp routes.
Yes, because I had to put them in by hand. That was a pain in the dick.
Oh, nice.
So it's going up like...
So Ganf Magna is I think the...
That's here.
Yeah, that's the, I think the one that connects to the Severian Dominant, right?
Mm-hmm. So that's a mining world. And then, well, it wouldn't be a feudal or feral world. So we're gonna say that it is...
So where's the crest of the ghost ship's path? Would that be around Sheaf?
That's not Sheaf, that's Sleaf. It's an
I
L.
think this is slightly tilted, so I think it might pass through like this, something approximately. But hard to don't know if that actually got sent. It's showing me a connection error now.
Same.
Yeah, here too.
Oh, please don't fucking die.
Same here.
Otherwise, well, these two can fill you in on the other news I dropped. Those that they consider important enough to share.
Do y'all remember what he said?
Well, there's a Mechanicus fleet led by an Arch Mechanicus coming for the Inquisition's ass.
Go one, quieter, Jackalor, and two, a bit more slower. All I heard is Arc Mechanicus.
Okay. There's an Arch Mechanicus led battle fleet coming at Scintilla, led by the
in the general
what's it
direction of the sector, you don't know if it's coming for Scintilla in particular.
Presumably because three big ass Forge World, Lathe World bullshit just kind of yote itself.
These are related to the Styges fucks.
Yes, they are likely coming for the Inquisition's information, so they can, fulfill whatever mission they were doing with the
And to murder the competition.
Yes, and murder the competition when we killed the. They're the same dudes that when we killed the frigate Meritech strike as Arminius with the fucking what's it called?
Okay, I got the gist of it.
Yeah,
Anything else?
that office.
The Mechanicus now seems
The ship's
to take
gonna
you-
be like 2 months out.
your ship. You have
So-
2 months on the planet before it arrives
Centella.
and is ready to recrew.
Okay.
And yeah, the local Mechanicus is being really mouthy with the Inquisition, and they're demanding reparations for what you did to that cruiser that you attacked with the Hammer of Light.
So just before we do things, after reporting things, did we get the influence that we talked about or not?
We had not discussed that yet. Ideally, I would have wanted Boo to be here to discuss how much you would gain, but okay. Let's see. Major objectives or pieces of information discovered. You know that the Harlock twins were involved at the Forbidden Facility. You were
Erasmus did stuff.
I mean, that was already known. That's not exactly new. But you are able to discover that the facility had been repaired and have an idea what kind of artifacts had been stuck in there. What else? I mean, let's see. The time fuckery, that's not something they can really trust, but it's sort of a nice bonus objective, recovering a missing in action or presumed killed in action Space Marine, so that's nice. See, and you got a bunch of information out of the Eldari, which is of course untrustworthy, but there sure was a lot of it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's go with 22 points of influence.
22.
Yeah, I'm counting the Eldari as 2 objectives because you got a lot of info on the AdMech and a lot of info about where to presumably chase Arminius and what's involved with that.
So 650 XP later, I might be an Inquisitor.
Are we each going for 22?
Yes.
That's impressive. Okay.
Well, we did some impressive work. If the fucking server would come back for the fucking Ruins of the Past, roll 20.
I'm on it. I don't seem to be fucked currently.
Tempting to reload.
You're the
Awesome.
only one.
I'm trying to.
I'm loading in right now. Just reload, Jekyll.
Bosnian internet superior.
Oh, we're back in. I don't see you, Demi.
Yep, we're back in. Reload, Demi.
Oh.
F. There goes
I
that
cry.
superiority.
Hey, it didn't tell me anything, okay?
So stealthy that so good it doesn't even tell you when it's broken.
Yup.
Can't be accused of not working when you don't tell them nothing's working. And it's still not loading the sheets for me.
Yeah, reloading.
It's gonna take a while.
Reloading just fucked me
It
more.
had to reload every sheet in the game to do it.
I blame Jack. I blame Jackalorn.
And you gotta keep in mind their servers probably just restarted to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
There it goes. Sheets loading in.
Not for me.
Not for me.
Well,
either.
I'm in my sheet, so
Suck it.
Oh, there it comes.
Okay. So I think with 22, each of you has the opportunity to go Inquisitor if you wish.
Yeah, should be. Because I think Inquisitor requires 75 influence.
Now, here's a thing, which is how I think I'm gonna rule this. You can go below 75 as an Inquisitor, but if you do, that sort of indicates that you're overstretched on your resources. And that sort of affects your credibility, because it's if someone investigates you, it's obvious that you are, stretching yourself really thin. Presumably won't matter unless you're dealing with some figures who are actually capable of doing a background check, essentially. But yeah, as a guideline, keep that in mind. Demi, is there anything in particular you would like to do or buy during those months? Implants, by the way, are currently at an additional -20 because the Mechanicus is refusing to deal with Inquisition.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's not a good
Oh.
sign.
Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't thinking of cybernetics. I've been using a fucking combat shotgun and I'll keep at it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I did pick up bolt training for a reason, so I can pick up a bolter.
Ah, yes,
think
the
that-
Storm Bolters are particularly fine this time of year, sir.
Yes, I would like to actually see about requisitioning said storm bolter.
So we agreed to reduce the difficulty of acquiring these, and bolt guns are produced in Scintilla on Gunmetal City, so take an additional +20 on this.
It is extremely rare. So what is the original penalty?
It goes to very rare, right? Because we reduced that. So it would be -30, +20, so -10 total.
So -10 influence roll. Yeehaw. Trying to just see if I got, for some reason, anything, but nah.
Do you believe, Demi?
I believe.
Holy shit. Actually, that's not that surprising. You had a pretty good shot.
6 clips of ammo as well.
Okay. And then the fun part happens.
Mm-hmm.
Sadly, I can't Demon Bane it because that would reduce my influence by a 1d10, and that might make me out of Inquisitor shot properly. So that makes me very, very sad. However, I will Sanctify it, which I think ends up, I need to find it in the book again. I know it has a requirement of 40 influence, and I think it's very rare.
Yep.
It is?
Yes.
Yeah, so I'll Sanctify it just to make it, well, better, more demon-y killy.
Okay, this is not gonna get additional bonuses, mostly because there are Chaos Warbands invading this sector, and Inquisitors seem to be asking a lot for sanctified weaponry.
Whack. It's almost like it's there for it's almost like it's required for a reason, huh? So very rare ends up being just a -20, right?
-30.
-30. Okay.
So close.
Perfect. So I got a Sanctified Stormbolter.
Okay. Excellent.
You know,
Uh-huh.
I'll do it for the combat shotgun too. Just put it in reserve and it'll be like, here's my 2 guns. Have at it. Folks obviously on the Stormbolter, but the combat shotgun is like, if you could just put it in, you know?
Sir, there's been a run on our stack.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I'll take that. I'll take that.
Okay, excellent. So you go shopping. All right. So let's Let's see, what about the rest of you? Anything in particular you wish to do?
Does Scintilla get a +10 bonus or something for acquisition and stuff?
Depends on what you're asking for, but usually it will probably get some sort of bonus, yes.
Synth muscle?
Unfortunately, that requires the aid of Mechanicus, so,
Does it? It is synth muscle. That feels like
strictly
some.
speaking, it doesn't require their aid, but most of the facilities that provide it are run or affiliated with Mechanicus, and you're
You
on
have
the
to get
blacklist.
the grown fucking vat of synth muscle from them, yes.
It's weird how facilities that regularly deal with Inquisition and that have, retainers and proper security in place, all seem to suddenly be not receiving stock. Something about production problems. The tech priest just hissed at them in binary, in what a few people have dared to interpret as laughter, and told them that apparently the main production facility got yacht or something. None available for this facility.
So a total of -60 for best quality synth muscle.
You're gonna go for it?
Yes.
Okay.
Cursed, honestly, cursed.
What about
I'll
hexachromatic
total of
wards? That requires Mechanicus help, doesn't it?
That's a -50 after my modifiers and the Mechanicus modifier and the
What do
Students.
you have to increase it?
master paperwork.
Ah, yes, of course. Go ahead.
Woo!
Disgusting. Adolphus.
You
You're
know?
talking about hexagrammatic words, right?
Yeah. But I'd like to point out, I completely forgot about I have endured to the Xenos, which gives me a 20 plus to any fucking interaction rolls with fucking Xenos.
Too late now.
Yeah, it's annoying, but we got through that regardless. Oh well.
Okay. Let's see, that's... What page are these or are you talking about pentagrammatic words instead?
I can't remember which it is for the armor.
Hexagrammatic is against war weapons. Pentagrammatic is to banished demons.
Okay,
Let's go with the pentagrammatic.
They are on page 45 of Enemies Beyond.
What about the hexagrammatic ones?
That's Enemies Without.
I just want to take a look.
It's on page 50 of the PDF of Enemies Within.
Enemies within. I thought you said without.
Oh,
Jackal.
fuck, I meant Enemies Within, not Without. Sorry, my bad.
I just go to page 50. I see Orc Deck. What is he trying to say?
Sorry. I got my books confused. They have such similar names.
Not seeing it on page 50 of the PDF.
49 of the book, if you want to be accurate.
There we go. Okay. Yeah, that's powerful words and a lattice work of null circuitry. That does sound like it requires a high-ranking Magos to do properly. The pentagrammatic
be right
stuff you can do just with Ordo Malleus help, though, I think.
Which one can I just do with Ordo Malleus help?
The pentagrammatic ones, because that's just magic bullshit.
Okay, I'd definitely go for that one then. Especially seeing as how I intend to use it against demons.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll be right back.
All right.
Depending on his willpower, so it's not probably not the best choice.
There's just one more thing that I'd
Mhm.
see about picking up if that's okie dokie.
Mm-hmm.
It's an ammo type. I've seen the ammo types that I can get, and they're fun, specifically psi bolts, but they're extremely rare, so I don't think I'm getting them.
Ah, family. Okay, so what's the roll?
Ah, sorry.
You should probably check up what pending I think words do first. It's on page 45.
I mean, that's the demon rolling willpower, and they take damage if they're engaged with him.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, true. It's something else entirely I was thinking of.
What page of Enemies Beyond was it again?
44. But if the demon gets 4 more degrees of success on fucking with the wards, it just breaks the ward. So you can lose them. They can be overloaded.
Still worth it.
Okay. Then, what's the rarity on these? Extremely rare. Again, no bonus or penalty because this seems to be a thing people want these days. Demi,
Yes.
you wanted bullets.
Yeah, specifically. See, I'm using Nitidus rounds and Manstopper for my combat shock, and that's nice. But now I'm missing something for my Stormbolter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Psi bolts are good, but as I said, they're extremely rare, so I'm probably not going to get them, right? So I'm going to go and do something that is a bit more widespread. I'd like Inferno shells for my Stormbolter.
That might be a good choice. However, I will also allow you to try and requisition. Although this will be at a penalty because they're literally produced by the late worlds and they're now at a deficit.
That's fair.
Something called hyperdensity penetrators from first edition, which essentially turns the bolter less into a grenade launcher and more of a railgun, with a high density slug that is meant to punch through armor.
So what? It just gives it like 6 pen or something?
I think it's plus 3 pen on top of what the bolter already has.
Which is, yeah, I'd have a pen of 7.
And changes the impact from explosive.
Yes, also not blowing up the ammo supply of your enemies.
That's fair. But Inferno shells have flame. Huh.
Flame explodes ammo.
I mean, bolt rounds already explode ammo.
Let's be fair. If you're hitting something with a Stormbolter, and if it lives long enough to be set on fire, then it's not gonna give a fuck about being on fire.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair. Sure.
How hard did you say this was? Minus 50?
Extremely rare is minus 40.
And those bullets are what?
Oh, well, no, it increases penetration by only 2. But it can knock enemies down.
Knock them prone, essentially.
Yeah. For average sized people. They are rare normally. Each bullet costs 100 thrones.
Fair enough. I suppose I'll requisition that then, because if for any reason we get, to Nerglites or stuff like that, yeah, and I'll take any pen I can fucking get.
Well, you want felling for those then.
Oh, no. Well, yeah, they're going to have their natural toughness. The Sanctified will go through at least the demonic toughness, so,
This will be good against if you run into Chaos Space Marines, though.
Mm-hmm.
That too. But don't regular, heralds or demons or general also just have armor?
They have like 4 points usually.
Yeah, it's not very much.
Fair. I'll take the recommendation, and sure, I'll try and requisition that. So it's rare, so that is a
It
minus
goes
20.
up, yeah, it goes up 2 steps because, again, late world product and the Mechanicus doesn't like you anymore, so it's a deficit item.
So what's the minus modifier?
Minus 40. It goes to extremely rare. Your call, you can just go with the flame.
I'm gonna stay with the flame. I like the idea of having a sanctified weapon that puts bitches on fire. I'll keep with the Inferno shells, which on its own should be rare.
Yes, and these. Yeah, no, take a plus 20 on this.
So it's flat.
Yes, because crap like this gets produced here, and well, it's weird, but there's a lot of demand with these. Something about being shipped off to various, sororitas cloisters for training purposes and other.
Emperor speed. Oh, come on. I'd actually that is how many degrees of failure is it? 3? Or is it 4?
That's 3.
3. Okay, I wouldn't lose influence, but how much time do I lose? How many more requisitions can I do?
At this point, I think you've spent. You've done how many? 4 total?
Stormbolter, sanctified on the combat shotgun.
So yeah, this is 4. You've spent the first month of actions you can take. So you can either do some kind of a project, or you can take 4 more requisitions.
I'm going to then spend a fate point to re-roll this, honestly, because I want to do some form of project.
Okay. Okay.
So that should be 5 clips of that?
6. First degree is 2 always.
Ah, okay.
Loads Stormbolter with malicious intent. Purge in holy flame!
Yeah, that's literally fucking it. I do have a question. I suppose this is a form of interest. Not sure if it would apply or not. If the Inferno shells are being shot from a sanctified bolter, actually, would the flame be sanctified as well?
Yeah, I'd count it.
Okay, so they go depending on the amount of soak, probably not, but they'd ignore that 4 toughness at least.
I mean, still initiate bitches are gonna have a bad day if they get caught on fire.
But good to know, thank you.
Be gone, thought. Lover's fucking flamer. Okay, Adolphus Jackalor. If you have a project in mind, you can save your remaining requisitions till the end.
More sniper rifle ammo.
Just normal?
Normal.
Okay. It's 1 step more common than the rifle itself, so that should be ridiculously easy to get. I think the sniper rifle was, average maybe? So I don't think you can really fail this. No, it's scarce. No, yes, it's scarce. So this goes to average, so you take a plus 20 for, again, this planet having the gunmetal city, and even with the war on, having ammo being churned out and being sold. So you get 4 clips.
Okay, that's what I needed.
Alrighty. Jackalor. Anything for you? Or a project? Trying to get a crew for the ship is an appropriate project, by the way. It's gonna have 30% crew when it returns. accounting for everyone that was, able to get healed.
Yeah.
Honestly, for now, I'll save it for project.
Okay. So, what projects would you like to undertake?
So notify us. Remind me. We are getting a free navigator essentially, right?
Yeah. If you wish to cooperate with this house, obviously, like, they're awfully eager and you would be warned to, be careful, and they're requesting to, like, usually entourage for navigators on smaller ships like this might be something like 30, 40 people. Like, 200 is a lot.
Fair. I'll take any navigator, to be fucking fair. That isn't fucking base.
Yeah, our navigator
We don't
has
have much of a
fucked us
choice.
twice with his unnamedness. Also, is this the house that Arminius actually screwed over, or am I just wrong?
I mean, you didn't screw them over, you gave them valuable information with the, by handing over
Yeah,
the...
but he didn't give over the fucking archaeotech.
Well, yeah, no, of course he wouldn't, and he's not required to. So, you gave them a copy of the data, that's... Thanks, bro! See ya!
Fucking blessed.
So it's up to you. Out of character, I'm just gonna make like a navigator who isn't completely shit with like 3k then. To be like a retinue.
That's perfect.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, so yeah, you are getting a navigator. With a reasonable level of experience.
Better than nothing. Definitely better than nothing.
But yeah, in that case, I suppose I think I will do my project of, considering that we are going to need crew. Definitely attempt, looking for crew in my own crude fashion, but it's not even crew.
Mm-hmm.
To be okay, fair. I probably shouldn't mention that. I'm not looking for crew. I suppose I'm looking for officers and specifically. I'm not good at the whole big thing, so I'm gonna narrow it down and try and myself try and find individuals who might be who might fit in with the death cult we have.
Okay, that's good. This won't help replenish your crew because you need something like 14,000 people. What this could do, considering how rough a time those ones have had and that you laid the groundwork, it might let you upgrade the crew rating towards 40.
Mm-hmm.
But this may cost influence if you're recruiting of the best possible people. It depends on how well you roll.
Fair enough. Would this be simply from my influence, or is this more of a group influence at that
This
point?
would be out of you personally, because you're personally going in, cashing in favors, and making promises.
Yeah, it's the out of character me who wants to become the Inquisitor, but considering we need the best, considering what the fuck we were just going through and what we need, I think I'll fucking go for it.
This can be a group thing. The others can join in on effectively, filling in the gaps and beefing up the skill of the crew.
Fair. But in terms of the roller method, once again, not sure about the amount of number, but if it's going to be I think I'm gonna see about using essentially interrogation. But not obviously in a torture way, but more of a welcome to the job interview. Now tell me, when was the last time you committed heresy?
So do you want to recruit this for an inquisitorial ship, or do you want to pretend to be a representative of a rogue trader?
I'm not even both. I just want because I know how it already is working. I want officers that can who are a little bit zealous and loyal, simply so that they can fit as much similarly to the death cult we have. Because my idea is, if we have less friction between those two factions, because I know our previous ship did, we might sail a bit smoother.
Okay. Sure. Do you openly show them that you're part of the Inquisition and or use the inquisitorial facilities? Using the inquisitorial facilities and all the equipment there will give you an additional plus 20, I'm gonna say.
But we lose subtlety, Rob, obviously.
Yes, that's the less subtle approach. And just showing them that you're part of the Inquisition from the Authority, that's a plus 10. So if you do both, I would let you have plus 30.
How I'm gonna approach it? I'm not gonna use the facilities because I think the way I want to approach it, because I want them to be honest in quotation marks. I will only reveal myself to be not inquisitor, but part of the Inquisition, sort of at the end, because I want them to be as if they don't know that I'm an inquisitor or part of the Inquisition, so that I can have a bit more feeling there.
Yeah,
because
no,
obviously
that works. You'll get a plus 10 there. And
Okay.
Unless you fuck it up horribly, that also mitigates, potential subtlety loss.
Sure. Should I roll this with fellowship or willpower or intelligence or something like that?
I think go with fellowship here.
Okay. So I have that interrogation. I have coordinated interrogation, which will give me just automatically a plus 10. That should be it from there. And you said another plus 10.
For waving the badge around at the end.
At the end. That is for 5 degrees, but I'm going to just make that a little bit better by using the face of the law. An applicant can replace intimidation, interrogation, substitute his willpower bonus for degrees on success on test. So I'll have 6 degrees of success.
Okay. So, unless someone chooses to aid you, it will require 4 influence to upgrade the crew to 40.
I'll spend the 4.
Okay.
I'll aid him.
In that case, you can make a roll and try and make up the difference.
What are the options?
How do you want to go about it?
Yeah, what can you throw on the table? I'll tell you what bonuses or penalties you might get from taking it.
Once again, since I'm leading this in a sense, will notify you. Look for people that, as I said, loyal, zealous, can work with the death cult, right? So try and take that at least in a form of approach.
Okay, I'll try the more open and more secretive route then. I'll pull out Dickinson.
Okay.
Understandable, sir. Have a nice day.
And I'll try to recruit people who are as fervent as he is.
How are you going about it?
What are you rolling?
I'll try to recruit ratings, people that are at least somewhat competent. What?
Looking for officers, not ratings right now.
Not crews.
I mean, there's ratings and there's ratings. If you're talking about actual armsmen, then that's fine. Those are relatively small number on a ship, and having the local security force be competent and zealous kind of works. But again, what the fuck are you rolling?
I'm thinking... Charm.
Hey kid, have you ever wanted to go on an adventure? See other worlds? Fight for the Emperor?
Blow up a bunch of Xenos.
You shouldn't have said that, because the first thing that comes to my mind, do you want to go on an adventure? A bizarre adventure.
Where we're going, we don't need Geller Fields.
I mean, there is an 8-bit czar. He's just deep in the warp. And an evil fucktard.
Okay, sure. Charm. Do you Do you use the authority of the badge?
No, I do not.
Okay, then flat. Okay, that's 4 degrees. Demi, you can get your influence back.
Yay.
So there's a bunch of fuckers along the lines of, no sir, I was dismissed by being too strict with the crew, sir. And no, I'm not a sister of battle. I'm not trying to purge heretics, Kites Flamer. You know, the people who might not have fit on more sane crews, usually ones from rogue trader ships that have for whatever reason been dismissed or left behind. Well, the rogue trader recruited 2 Dark Eldari to the crew, and I murdered them in the night, and he was upset about that, so now I'm out of a job.
Takes out custodial badge. We're looking for a man like you.
Okay. But yeah, so you have a maybe 200 ratings lined up and maybe 25, 30 officers to join the crew for when the ship arrives. And Jackalor, what about you? What's your project?
I would like to search for an actual crew through bureaucratic means. There's one thing I buy first, though. A calculus logi upgrade.
You already request... How many requisitions have you had? Because you requested synth muscle. That's likely to put you in recovery for another week.
Yes, I requisitioned one synth muscle, that's it.
Okay. Go ahead.
I have it in the book.
Jackalor,
Yes.
I'll offer you a deal with the devil. You can forego the -20 with the Mechanicus, but if you there might be unforeseen consequences if you go to those kind of shops.
Psst. Hey kid, you want some simp muscle? Just come in here.
No, this is specifically for the brain implant.
No, I'm not.
Hey kid, you look like a guy who has 70 IQ. You want to increase that?
I'm re-rolling that.
It looks like you did go for a shop like that, huh?
Whack.
So, how's
Can I
the
roll
new
again?
character coming along?
Maybe no, they just tell him to go and fuck himself.
Oh, good.
Can I roll again?
That will mean sacrificing the project or taking a penalty on it. Because you
So-
won't have enough time. Okay?
So, is it a project to
No. He's
become an Inquisitor?
no, it wouldn't be. They are willing to promote you. If you have the XP, you can take it.
Okay. It's 1,000 XP, right?
Yep.
Yup. I'll get that in 2 sessions. Maybe.
We can say that you undergo the ceremony now and you just finish your, like intro materials, like burn these after you're done reading them.
So we grant you the rank of Inquisitor, but not the seat.
Stand over there. Jackalor, would you like to reroll that?
Yes.
So are we gonna start the session again with 0 fate points on a character? Jacklord, how the fuck? Okay, you do go. He goes to a shop. This will be fun to see.
Jesus Christ.
Jackalor, go ahead and add the implant. And you don't lose any influence, but add a surprise upgrade in parentheses next to that implant on your sheet.
Shows you the darkness of the warp. Occasionally.
Congratulations, you have a surprise brain bomb.
I like Jack Lord's just silent. He can't believe it.
I think he hates his dice like thoroughly by now.
Well, yes, that's always been the case. Every time he min-maxes,
Cheat.
I mean, you cannot.
I'm
you
just
cannot
looking at
blame
your
the
shit, sorry,
dice
Jack
for
Lord.
this.
Okay,
He pushed it.
Jackalor, it's a big influence loss. I'll give you the option. You can choose to sacrifice the influence.
Instead of getting the surprise upgrade.
Yep, and the implant.
Yeah, definitely sacrificing that.
I think he knows me too well, Demi.
So that's I have 4 fellowship bonus, so that's 4 degrees.
I think that's 3 or 4 influence loss.
Let's
Yeah.
see. That is 5, 6, 7, 8. You lose 4.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, for the finding of the crew, how do you want to go about it? Bureaucracy?
Yeah, bureaucracy.
Yeah. How obvious about this do you want to be? Do you openly use like the inquisitorial stamp on these requisitions?
What would be the bonus associated, and how bad would be the subtlety loss?
Well, the subtlety loss would be a 1d10, but it's gonna be a 20 point swing.
Fuck it, let's use full authority, Inquisition authority.
Cursed.
So meanwhile, you're like, listen, don't tell anyone about this. This is a secret. People wanted for inquisitorial mission.
God damn it.
Okay, go ahead and roll flat, Jackalor, because, well, you're trying to get the Imperial bureaucracy to do things in 3 weeks. That's, Oh, actually, no, you took the fail on that. So, take a plus 20, because you have full month, you don't take the penalty for, having, shorted yourself on time.
You know, whack, but if you maybe commercialize yourself as a rogue trader, maybe people would have actually been even more willing.
And you're gonna get roughly 2,000 people per degree of success, but I see that that is not gonna be a problem here. Okay. So, speaking of which, we need to decide what's happening with your influence. I think that was under inquisitorial assets. Okay, so new crew started at that. Let's see. Most of the time you did a decent job of maintaining your subtlety as a rogue trader. And recovering the ship, you covered that pretty well as well. You had to reveal yourself somewhat during the battle with Eldari, but even then it was mostly bridge crews. So I'm thinking something like 2d10 subtlety gain and like maybe 1d5 loss for like all the important people you end up revealing yourselves to. Does that seem reasonable?
Definitely.
I'll roll the 1d5 for the loss.
Oh,
you
these are rolled secretly.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah,
I'm
that's
just
fair.
letting you know how big the change is, but the actual numbers are... secret.
And then we find out about now. That is a question that I want to pose to you guys. Now that we're sort of going on manhunts and stuff like that, do we still want to keep attempt a guys at the rogue trader, or do we go Inquisition on this bullshit?
You were told to assume that Mechanicus forces are gonna be hostile to your mission.
So keep as rogue trader. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
So, for the Inquisitor Elite Advance, I get a free Forbidden Lore. Can I have Forbidden Lore space Russians?
at this point, yeah,
Blessed.
I will allow it. So total time on mission. I'm just gonna write this down like approximately 1 year.
Yeah, make itself easier.
Okay. Good. Good. So, the Silver Triumph docks at the end of this time in the Scintillant space docks. In the commercial section, in a berthing that is conveniently becomes empty at the right moment. And there is a rogue trader, and let's do it this way. Okay, I'm gonna say that he's a reasonably well set up one, piloting a Firestone class frigate. And he will want to meet with you, rogue trader Dickinson, to discuss the what the fuck happened to you and how he's gonna profit from your misfortune after rescuing your ship.
Okay.
So, he's certainly willing to invite you on board, or you can now visit him down on the planet, or arrange a neutral meeting spot, like hire out a place.
What's the neutral?
Let's go for somewhere fancy in the Hive spires.
Okay. Would you like to roll a requisition test to acquire a fancy location to impress a rogue trader?
Sure. Let's
Alright.
do that.
By most people's standards, this would be extremely rare, I'm gonna say. So, you're not established among the Scintillant nobility, so this is gonna be a -40. Unless you choose to exert your authority more openly, but that risks him being able to find out that you have done so.
I'll re-roll that.
Okay. Unfortunately, you cannot find a location that is available to you and, more importantly, your price range immediately.
Well, screw it. I'll take my honor card of very, very zealous ratings along board. Like, let's say 20 of them.
Okay.
And visit him on board his ship.
Are your senior advisors and crew going with you?
There's
Who
only
would
one right
those
answer
be?
to this, Adolphus.
Just the others, or would that actually be members of the crew?
I'm talking about specifically the others.
Yeah, I might as well take the others with.
Okay. So, yes, the ship seems relatively pristine for a vessel that has been through the warp on apparently a mission to rescue something from the fucking cat, of all things. Since, well, you heard who took your ship from you.
One very angry pussy. Yes.
Could you not? The frigate itself, it's clean lines, doesn't have a lot of the patchwork you might expect from Imperial vessels that have been in service for millennia. And the Firestorm is usually, well, it's one of the newer classes of ships anyway, especially in Calixus. So it's a pretty fancy and new ship for a rogue trader to have.
I see.
Mm-hmm. You are welcome on board with appropriate ceremony, but based on, well, you can roll either scrutiny, or if you have something like etiquette or knowledge and ability, you can roll that.
I have knowledge.
I
and
have
ability.
common lore rogue traders.
If you have a specific lore relating to nobility or rogue traders, go with plus 20. If you have scrutiny, roll that flat.
I have infused knowledge.
Then you can take a plus 20 on infused knowledge.
That doesn't matter, apparently. Because, you know, the fuck.
Yep. So, you, Jordan Dickinson, can tell based on the attitude the Seneschal is giving you that you're kind of being treated as his social inferior. Like, he and his officers clearly feel that he's a step above you in the hierarchy of rogue traders. He considers probably his ship better, and likely his variant has far fewer restrictions than yours. Which, and based on the state of the ship, there's a good chance this is a new upgrade as well. Like he's just bought a new flagship in exchange for an older one. So, he's doing well and he feels like he's a step above from you. Pure and simple.
All right.
You are led to quarters where you are, of course, free to freshen up and, you know, there's gonna be a feast with the senior staff, as you do, and, you know, you have 2 hours to prepare. They're letting you wait for a bit. Again, another not quite so subtle move to indicate that you essentially came to him with your hands stretched out, and you know how. What the expectations might be here.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything you wish to do or try and find out while you're waiting to talk to the guy?
What about you guys?
We could ask some pointed questions to to any of the officers that are here, like trying to figure out what he wants from us, other than money.
Well, I can roll logic to maybe possibly fucking deduce that.
He wants a big favor. That's what he wants.
Yeah, but what kind? What's the specifics? What does he have in mind?
You would have
Hey,
to
Ma-
ask the crew in order to logic that dummy, by the way. You don't
Hmm.
have much
Yeah,
information
exactly.
code. You can do that after the feast, because then you'll have plenty to work on, but
Yeah.
you know, fair warning, like,
Yeah.
I'd like to try chatting up our escorts from the crew. You know, how long have you been part of his crew? You know, try and mask it as a bit of small talk kind of thing, of being nice and
make an inquiry check.
you know. Okay.
Anyone wanting
Flat.
to do the same thing can, yeah, make a flat inquiry check, unless you have something like peer rogue traders.
Yeah. Do not have inquiry, not my specialty.
Fair enough.
I'm just going to. Well, I don't really like these kind of things. I'm just gonna look menacingly and fuck in a corner or something.
Okay, roll intimidation.
Sure. With what? Strength?
Strength
Or-
or willpower, whichever is higher.
I'll go with willpower. Flat.
Yes, flat will do fine. I'm just quickly trying to figure out what he can actually fit on that ship. Looks like a fair bit.
That's once again 5 degrees of success. I'll use the background bonus and make that 6.
Okay.
Cigar in hand. Don't fuck.
Yeah, the subtle diss grows a little less potent from his crew. Okay. Yes, inquiry. Well, yes, apparently this rogue trader has been traveling all over and seems to be, in particular, trading with Xeno civilizations, and seems to have a great interest in how they can be best exploited for benefits. All perfectly legal, of course, only bringing back, things like refined adamantium. No technology, certainly, just precious ores and metals and gems that the Imperium lacks or can be sold at a profit.
Of course, of course.
But yes, it's you can find examples of alien civilization or their remnants in the strangest places, and often these are willing to trade, especially if you point the lance at their settlement.
Blessed.
It's like the stupid Xenos don't realize that if they don't trade, they're gonna be fired upon. Often, not even until you make an example. You can roll scrutiny, having asked those questions, though. That leaves him that much space.
All right. Modifier?
Modifier. Give it a plus 10, let's say. Oof.
I'd like to re-roll that.
I know, would you?
Also, in the meantime, since this is, I suppose, a half action, really, could I roll Synesians to see if I actually detect anybody? Do I feel that psychic, bullshit in the fucking area besides our own psyker?
Yes, you can take a plus 10 on this.
It's technically not a botch.
Technically not a botch on either of those.
Actually, I'm gonna fucking roll fate point. I want to re-roll. I want to get this bit. Hell yeah, brother.
Okay. Demi, you pick up something interesting. Of course, there's the usual psychic presences from up above. You figure a couple of astropaths, the very, very faint, masked, muffled presence of the navigator, as you do, but down below, in the lower decks, there's just this feeling of psychic potential, almost like it's dissolving, like a blot in the warp that's slowly spreading.
Have I ever felt or anything similar in terms of like at least heretical and demon bullshit?
Doesn't necessarily feel demonic. Demons feel more manic or obsessed with a single thing. This feels more closer to mortal.
The Psyker got laid a lot.
But it's definitely not a stable and controlled psychic potential like you might expect in a actual legit psyker.
If you could I roll? If you inform me, could I roll Forbidden Lore Psychers on that?
I have Forbidden Lore Psychers.
Oh, fair enough.
You are
I have
welcome
2
to
ticks
all
even.
do ceremonies, so there's constantly someone in the room. Would my lord like a haircut before his meeting? Who cut my lord's hair? Have you been in the wilderness for long, my lord? Would you like a snack, my lord? Perhaps some wine, a cigar? You know, it's just a constant stream of this.
Yeah, I'll take up the fucking cigar offer. But after that, just basically kick everybody the fuck out.
Yeah, the cigar is strange. It leaves a sort of burning sensation in your throat, and it's like the smoke is spicy. Like,
Why'd you have to do that? My little
what is your superstition?
A bad cigar means a heretic is nearby.
Don't worry, you're just smoking spice from Dune.
The problem is that you die if you stop taking it.
Yep.
Obviously, this is a bad cigar. Fuck it. When there's nobody inside or whatever, I'll literally fucking barricade a door if I fucking have to, okay?
There's literally always someone in there. Even when you ask for privacy, there's just like one servant that just sort of hangs their head and stands there in case you need something.
Okay.
Now, that doesn't mean you can't just take them by the shoulder and yeet them out the door. That's perfectly fine. I'm just, informing you. Your nobility you're fussed over.
Yeah, seeing that and, well, because that superstition, that really fucking triggers the fuck out of me. As, the others are getting ready or anything.
Pull out Stormbolter and Rosette start marching towards bridge.
Nah. Not yet. I'm gonna go up to the servant.
Yet.
I'm gonna go up to the servant who's looking down.
Yes, sir. How can I help you?
Take my own fucking cigar. Just sort of blow in his fucking face. You need to get the fuck out.
I'm sorry, sir?
Well, if I hold up, let me get my fucking accent. Blech. I say, get the fuck out of this room.
Very well, sir. I'll ask for another servant. He just scurries out.
Cat, hold him by the other thing. I don't want another servant. I'll call for a servant when I need a servant. Right now, I need some privacy, which means I need you and all of your comrades, whoever servant's next gonna come out and knock on the door, to stay the fuck away from the door.
I'll slowly walk over, set my hand on his shoulder.
He sort of slumps even further. His knees are now half folded. He's sort of trying to shrink into himself.
Mortez, please. They're just trying to be good hosts.
Sure, let's go with that. So, if you would be a good host, how about you leave?
He scurries out.
Close the door.
Mm-hmm.
Look the others. Just sort of point in. So you got guys get fucking close, basically in whisper range.
Yeah.
I want basically in whisper tone right now because they're probably listening or anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we don't really have the time
There's a
to do
couple
that.
of, like, you have 20 of, like, your zealous ratings with you there, like, in either the nearby rooms or a couple are here with you. You can, if you want to be private, I can assume you just set them to guard the door.
Yeah, basically. Now, I felt something. I felt something real bad. Something about the warp and very unstable, alright? Now, that's in the lower decks. Not only that, they just gave me a really, really bad cigar. And I know that what that means. So, I'm not sure how much it's gonna take me, but I'm gonna be late. So, what I'm gonna need you all to do is
You're not going anywhere, you know, asshole.
What?
what?
The room's bugged, you stupid guys.
Why do you think I'm whispering, you dumb fuck? You don't have the time.
No, that last line was not in character. The
Oh.
other one was in character.
Just sort of. Anyways, I'm gonna go down, see what the fuck that is, and I'm gonna be late. So, make some kind of excuse for me. I don't
With
really
all due
care.
respect, do not piss off our hosts. If you really must, you can tell our hosts that you noticed something.
What do you call a group of inquisitors? An argument?
The last thing I need out of you is for you to get me in a situation where I owe another rogue trader even more than I already do for his kindness in helping our crew after what happened.
The last thing I need is a heretic going about and us owing a favor to a heretic. You didn't feel what I felt. There's something unstable down there, and if it's fuckety, oh, it's hella fuckety. I'm gonna go find out what that shit is. So, don't you worry.
If you get caught, I'm dismissing you from my fucking crew.
Sure, rogue trader. Let's say you do.
Adolphus, roll deceive with -10, please. For any that might be listening and how well you covered.
I'd like to re-roll that.
Oh, by all means.
By all means.
Okay,
God bless.
choice.
And yeah. Question. Since we are obviously we're in a different ship, right? Or where are we currently?
You are on his frigate.
What do we have in terms of weaponry?
Like, you're probably not loaded for bear, and you're probably not wearing your power armor, so... I mean, having a Stormbolter is not unexpected for a Rogue Trader, though maybe not for one who managed to get in this much trouble. It's up to you. You can have one of your long guns, that wouldn't be a miss.
I actually felt the psychic thing, so I'm gonna go with if I can with the combat shotgun and filled with the Nitidus rounds right now.
Okay. Sure, that's a little more fitting, so you take your well-worn combat shotgun, just pop out the normal shells, pull out the special ones. A hunting we will go.
Yep. Tip my hat to the fucking thing, and off I fucking go.
Demi, how's your stealth?
Oh, I'm not good at stealth, and I'm defo probably not even trying to stealth, really.
Okay. Then, give me an intimidation with -20 to just walk to your target bold as brass. With willpower, yeah.
Yeah, Gucci. And I'd like to use the face of law, so 6 degrees.
Okay.
I love that. So much.
You yeah, you start walking. A a servant that tries to follow you falls behind when you glare at him. Ratings try to catch up. You tell them to fuck off. They follow you from a distance. You can hear them in the back radioing in. Head into the lower decks. Workers look up at you like, who the fuck is this cunt?
Hey, that's at least the most amount of respect. These guys, they don't know what the fuck's going on. These guys, they do know what's going on. So I'm gonna tip my hat to these fuckers as I pass. They're definitely the harder workers here.
So you go down until you make your way to one of the cargo bays on board. And the door is guarded in this case by 4 ratings with shotguns and actual helmets with like mirror shields. Hiding their faces.
Mm-hmm. Combat shotgun not fully drawn yet, right? I still like it's on my back, like at the ready, right?
Mhm.
As I'm walking.
Yeah. So we'll get back to that in a second. We're sort of going to switch back and forth. You two are told that the feast is ready and you are invited to join, all 2 of you. And you see one of the servants just look, oh shit, scurry off. Seating needs to be rearranged, oh shit! And presumably you proceed to the hall, where the rogue trader is a bit like, only 2 of you kind of look, doesn't say anything, invites you, Lord Dickinson, to sit next to him.
Ah, so kind.
It's the kind of table you might expect from a feudal world noble. There's a whole roast piglet on the table, head and all, just glazed to golden perfection, whereas assorted other foods that will probably make a healthy imperial citizen drop dead of a heart attack by the time he's 50. Cigars, amasec, several wines that, the Seneschal informs you that they are of various Xenos makes. If you do not prefer to consume Xenos luxuries, even ones known to be safe, you should probably refrain, but you're welcome to try any of them. And just, you're invited to start with the first course, and then after you've had a chance to, take the edge off the hunger, you can proceed with the discussion. Is there anything you would like to say at the start of the meal to your host? Other than, generic pleasantries.
Rogue trader, if you would.
You got us out of quite a sticky situation there.
Oh,
I have
we
to
will
thank
discuss
you
business
personally.
later. Please eat, enjoy yourselves.
Well, it's kind of you to greet us with such a wonderful meal.
It's nice to make new business associates. Please dig in.
Of course.
Do either of you partake of the more exotic Xenos foods, spices, or other luxury items?
No.
I tried to distinguish which ones are more unsavory with what I know of Xenos and rogue traders in general, and
all of this
avoid
is,
those,
as
but
far as,
enjoy the more wholesome ones.
As far as the Xeno stuff goes, this is all, relatively softcore stuff. There are no Dark Eldari drugs here or anything of the kind.
Not yet. That's dessert.
It's like, it's the kind of stuff that is actually, at least some of it, the stuff that you recognize, it's like on the legal rolls that the Inquisition has approved as not dangerous in an obvious way. So for the nobility, it's okay. And yeah, there's some interesting things. The cigars, it turns out, are a Xenos blend, which sort of has a special kind of pepper in them that sort of, it burns a little at first, and then it sort of turns into that warm afterglow as you keep smoking them. That sort of lingers for a couple of hours.
I knew it was bad.
Tastes like heresy. Yeet. You stand before the door. The ratings. Shotguns at the shoulder. Just watching, waiting for you to act. Demi,
Yes.
how would you like to proceed?
You know, in open view that they can see me, sort of just look around, look at them, step up slowly.
They sort of step forward and to the side. So now there's a wall of 4 men in between you and the door.
Take out a cigar before I put it in my mouth. See if anybody wants any.
No reaction
Light it up.
from behind. Sir, we should really be going back to the party.
You go enjoy yourself.
He did not enjoy
Beautiful.
himself.
Beautiful.
Now, we'll look at the 4 gentlemen. How do you do?
Again from behind. Sir, this area is off limits.
I turn back. I turn for 1 fucking millisecond. Is it a servant or is it a, sort
No,
of a
it's the ratings, and there's sort of that look on their face like, what do I do now? Do I shoot him? He's a guest! He's a noble! What the fuck? Why is he doing this?
If the two of you behind me don't fuck off in the next 5 seconds, oh boy, you'll fuck off. I'm having a discussion with these gentlemen in front of me.
Yeah, what? They just immediately go to their micro means.
That's better. Gentlemen, how long have you been working for the rogue trader?
Still no answer. One of them points back down the hall.
Now, can at least one of you put down that helmet so I know that none of you, for any chance, a Xeno? Just in case.
See, the body language shifts slightly.
Hmm.
One of them pulls up. You see a heavily scarred face of an older rating. And one of her hand comes up.
That's an appropriate response. I'm gonna need you to open up what's in there.
His hand with the finger does not move.
Just give a smile. I can do a similar trick. And I take out my rosette with the fucking...
Make me another intimidate check. This time roll it flat. You see the face go completely white and the hand drop by the side. You hear like an urgent from behind, "Sir, we have a situation here! We have a fucking situation!"
You better cut that microbead now before I cut you in half.
It's the fucking Inquisition!
Take out my combat shotgun. Get over here right now.
He goes running.
Look back to the older ratings. That's how you do it. So, gentlemen, I repeat, I need to see what's inside.
They shuffle aside
Okay.
reluctantly. Up above, people are just finishing the first meal when a officer with a rank of lieutenant, just in the house colors, just rapid step, just goes into the room. The rogue trader looks up. "I asked not to be disturbed, so this is urgent," leads and starts whispering. "If you have scrutiny, you may roll it to try and overhear."
I'm sorry, Adolphus. I have to do it.
Modifier?
Flat. Sir, it's the Inquisition. They found the special cargo! They found the special cargo, sir! What do we do? What do we do? Yeah, stands up.
That
Gentlemen,
damn no. I knew he'd do something stupid.
Sits back down. I assume there's a story here. I'd like to hear it.
A few months back, I recruited a null because I've had trouble with demonic presences incurring on my ship, as you may have noticed. Suffice it to say, he's been an asshole at every turn. I don't know what he's done this time, but he did say he was going to look into something lower in your decks that had some sort of warp presence.
You see the wheels turning behind the eyes?
Is Damon legit a no?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not a no.
What?
Oh, I'm just playing into the fucking deception from before.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to detect the psychic presence below. Just know that if you're going with that story.
He doesn't, like the rogue trader doesn't necessarily know.
Fair.
You see the look in his eyes. Turns to the lieutenant. Tell them to lock the door behind him. We'll sort through this later. Demi, there's a certain amount of reluctance there, but you just hear the faint hiss of microbeads, and they pick up the step and stand aside.
Mm-hmm.
The cargo bay is...
Before I do,
yeah?
before I open it, I'm going to prepare the pict recorder.
Okay,
Just so I have evidence.
alright.
And yeah, prep the shotgun and open.
Okay. Well, Demi, there's a certain smell
Zing.
that you didn't expect, kind of like animal waste, really. Like a lot of livestock has been kept in this cargo hold under cramped conditions. Proceed inside. It is dark. Hear the faint clinking of what you presume are chains.
Yeah, I have a flashlight, so I'm going to open that up.
Okay. Open the flashlight. Head in deeper. Hear the door hiss shut behind you. Up above. So, this null of yours. What do you know about him? Who is this guy and why is he running around on the lower decks of my ship?
Well, what I know of him is that he's extremely competent at what he does. He's always been somewhat adversarial with anyone who interacts with him. He's never been a very talkative one, but I've always heard that gnolls are that way, so I assume it's just his natural inclination.
Okay. Yeah, that gives me an idea of the story you're going for. Roll a deception for me. Flat.
Any modifier?
No, flat, like I said. Okay, he just nods along. And clearly you have been infiltrated for whatever reason. Demi, down below, you make it past the outer area, which looks some sort of a preparation area. There's a couple of tables, some kind of a shower set up. Looks like a medical station, at least a basic one. And you head inside and you see the cages. The figures in them, some of them aren't moving, some of them feebly raise their hands to ward off the light or look at you. You see maybe 50 Eldari caged up, half of whom are still alive, all of who look sick or hurt in some way. Pale, weak.
Just, make it sure so the pic recorder picks it up as the flashlight goes, and just go like, and just, sort of like almost log it on the pic recorder so the sound can be heard. It's like, Eldari, counting 50, seemed to be sick.
Faintly
That
from
one's
one
dead.
side. Monkai, mercy, Monkai.
Sort of turned the flashlight on him. Define mercy, Zeno.
Just shakes his head, says something in Eldari. Mercy, Monkai, mercy.
Now, I felt something down. Now, by the way, not sure if Senescence is still picking up, but
Oh yeah,
just
you're
gonna-
surrounded by it.
Now, now Eldari, I'm gonna need a answer. Which or how many of you here can use psychic abilities?
Just keeps he repeats the same phrase in Eldari and again says mercy, Monkai.
Are the cages the only thing? Are there any like a
They're
couch
also
state or
like they're cages that are bolted to the floor and they are in shackles, hands and feet, that are welded to the cages.
but yeah, that's the only thing in this place. Nothing
in
like
this cargo section, yeah, it looks like a big room with caged aliens.
All right. Would like to note for the pic recorder, one hand should shoot them, on the other, they're good evidence. We'll check to see what later. With that, accept it, go back,
Okay.
essentially. And
The
I'm going to stop
door-
the recorder.
Yeah, the door does not open for you, strangely enough.
Knock on the door. Knock on the door. Fine gentlemen, I'm not sure if you hear me from on the other side, but I'd recommend opening.
Yeah,
That's how it's gonna be.
no response. The rogue trader up above is gonna make his excuses and tell you that he would like a chat with your null. And after that, well, you'll probably be able to recover your man if he hasn't done something too damaging. If he has, he'll compensate you for the lost personnel.
All right.
I understand. He deserves a beating.
Knowing that, well, the psychic thing were only the trapped Eldari, essentially. Going to switch back to man stopper bullets.
Okay, Just casually reload.
Yeah, just inside, reloading. Only light is basically my own fucking cigar.
Okay. It's maybe 10 minutes that you are there, waiting, telling them that they really want to open this door. When it hisses open, and there's like 6 ratings there, on top of the ones with the mirror masks, sort of kneeling down, shotguns leveled in your direction, surrounding the figure of the rogue trader. At least based on the rich clothing and the house sigil on a thick golden chain around his neck. My Lord Inquisitor.
Interesting stuff you have down here.
All perfectly legal as per my warrant, I assure you.
I know a thing or two about law myself. Now, this is a bit, not befitting of both a man of, your stature and a man of my stature. So,
Yes, yes, of course. Motions at ratings. I'm just making sure you don't come out shooting or do something really stupid. Reaches into his coat. I have the paperwork and a copy of my the relevant passages from my warrant, if you would. Holds out a sheaf of papers.
I'll take it. Just give a quick glance, but, you know, I have the infused knowledge, but...
Cargo is declared as Xeno's slaves, captured for the purposes of personal pleasure with the intention of selling to another Xenos race. The state of the cargo is listed as sick, dying, cause unknown, ruled out infectious agents. Astropath suggests some sort of warp malady isolated for the good of the crew. And the warrant is essentially allowed to trade with other Xeno civilization with goods either captured or, traded with yet other Xenos and just, does not specifically exclude slaves.
Okay. Just, not sure roll it back up or whatever. Just give it back to him. Now, Rogue Trader, I believe there was a feast. Now, I wouldn't want some of the others to miss out on a good feast. So, how about we have a little feast on our own?
What?
Well, that's an interesting suggestion.
We're gonna go and eat alone, essentially, is what I'm proposing, Jackalor. I'm not. You guys can. Excuse me?
Making sure.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna eat him out. What the fuck are you thinking?
Not that, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he went there.
Oh, yeah. We know Jackalor's getting PTSD from D&D.
Okay, so yeah, he's gonna return to the feast after letting you return to the quarters, Demi.
Mm-hmm.
And he's gonna tell you that the matter was resolved. Your null got a bit curious, but he thought that 2 slaps across the face was an appropriate punishment for the breach of protocol, so he administered that himself.
I understand. I would have dealt him a worse fate than that myself.
So, Christ, this is just a question. Not sure if this would be Scholastic Lore Judgment, Forbidden Lore Heresy, maybe a combination of the two, right? But is there any way that can essentially frame him as this is no bueno?
You can make give me a Forbidden Lore Heresy.
Okay, I'm going to spend a fate point for 5 degrees of success.
Okay. So, here's the thing, right? Like, there are nobles on Scintilla, the generous that they are, that would kill a whole world for an Eldar waifu. We just know that this is how it works. We met House Lancaster.
It's just a thing. I get it.
Technically, since he knows that they're in this state, I mean, you could intimate that he's trying to sell them here, find a... solution for them, but technically, unless he actually unloads them onto an Imperial facility, it's not illegal while they are on his house's personal property, essentially. They are a Xenos good in transit between one Xenos and another.
All right. This
That-
might be
Like,
far.
him
Continue.
coming with them to Scintilla, that's iffy, that's fucky, right? But at the same time, like, he's rescuing your ship, so he has a reason for that.
Mhm.
You
I
could
got it.
try and use that as leverage to try and, impugn his honor, but it's not the kind of case that's ever gonna stick against a noble of this level of power.
Yeah. This might be a far fetch, but I'm just asking because obvious. I don't know the entire fucking rulings of things. His claim of taking these slaves that seemingly have warp in them or disease, as he wants to say it, and selling it to other races and the like. And well, my knowledge that people want Eldari waifus, right? Could that in any potential be spun around as potentially through the use of breeding psychic Eldari and stuff like that be cause for strengthening the Xenos and thus endangering the Imperium and
The
stuff like that?
Eldarius are not gonna be cross-fertile with other species unless they are literally used for some kind of transgenic grafting.
Got it.
At least, based on what you know, you would assume that would be like one of the lores Eldari to try and figure out what you can expect from something like this.
Okay. I'm not a Xeno guy, so just going on what I could do.
Like, yeah, no, if they actually don't get used for their stated purpose, that could strengthen one Xenos empire, but that's like a consequence of trade, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's...
He's
Like-
staying within the gray area that
Yeah,
he's allowed by.
I'm aware, and I'm trying to see if I can, in any possible way, push it out. Right?
He wants you not to owe a favor to this guy and just go like, we'll forget about this and fuck off.
All right.
But yeah, the rogue trader returns to the feast and the courses continue, and he kind of sinks into his own thoughts for the next course, and after that he's gonna ask you, so how did you manage to get into that kind of trouble? Especially getting separated from your ship like that. That's I would assume that you're not in the habit of sending your ship off without you. Adolphus? Not the question he was expecting.
I'll give him a skeptical look. And like try and play my cards close to my chest, and then say, I've found some strange things on some planets. One of the systems we were looking in happened to have a old Eldari facility of some sort.
And
Suffice it to say, our investigation of it ended up with us in a completely different system.
Oh, you are extremely lucky if you stumbled into a webway gate. You have the Emperor's own luck to have gotten out again.
And so you see the position I'm in. I'm lucky to even be alive. My crew's lucky to be alive. You've done us a tremendous favor.
Yes, I certainly have.
Now
haven't
my
I?
man has put me in a even worse position as far
Please,
as that's
please, the
concerned.
very talented are often ambitious. It's of no issue. I've had similar problems with my crew.
Well, I'm glad you understand.
Well, I could take a repayment of the favor simply as a large sum of capital or assets if you are eager to not be on the hook for a favor. I did have to go out of my way, and some of my cargo has spoiled in the interim.
Cough, cough, Eldari. Cough, cough.
And he's gonna quote you a number that's essentially for profit factor. You're not sure you have that much in cash. Most of your influence is in favors. When you need cash money, you go through the Inquisition, like when you're hiring thousands of crew members. Alternatively, if you have a business opportunity you can offer me, I could, I suppose, be persuaded to let go of this favor in exchange for a lucrative opportunity of some kind or information.
Out of curiosity, Chris,
Mm-hmm.
do we still have the records of the planets that had a large amount of resources in
No, you
the
don't have the nav computer. You just have what the acolytes could remember and recount.
Yeah, and they didn't note down the
Yeah, you know the beacon worlds, but well, those have archaeotech on them. They're not the kind of thing you want a rogue trader to go, oh, hello there.
I think I might have something akin to that.
Well, before
All
you
right.
say more, I am not eager to dig through Eldari runes, especially ones that have already proven so dangerous.
All right, guys. Demi, stop playing with the head scratcher.
I'm not there, so that's why I'm not doing anything.
No,
I'm.
I need to know whether or not you guys are okay with this.
Oh.
I'm gonna give him the fucking location of that ancient, abandoned, whatever it's called.
I'm. Here's the thing. I'm not there, but I'll tell you out of character. I feel like I know a way to make him a bit more. How do I say this? A bit more reluctant. Give us a better deal, essentially.
No, it was gonna be 5 profit factor before.
Oh, I think here's the thing. To tell you out of character, essentially, my idea was because I do have knowledge of psychers
You
and
know,
things.
save it, Demi, for when you actually talk to him one-on-one. That's
Sure,
fine.
sure. So honestly, I'm just gonna say because I'm not there, Adolphus. Up to you.
See, what I'm thinking, Jackalor and Demi, who apparently does not want to give input, that we give him the location of that that ancient shipbuilding facility, ship dock, that the Eldar think are.
No!
Jack are playing Minecraft in the background, and you just hear experience fall, and Jack would scream, "No!"
I mean, the Eldari might eat him for you, but they might be pissed that you set him there. Monkai are treacherous.
How
Never
would they
trust a
know?
Monkai.
How would they know?
Farseers.
Also, how they saw future stuff.
It's up to you. You are technically the rogue trader, so as he knows you can give him a system loaded with archaeotech if you wish.
The answer is no.
What other systems do we know about?
The systems you mostly know about, the thing is, are those which are by all rights, which by all rights should be considered forbidden worlds by the Inquisition. Because there's gonna be stuff there pertaining to this crap, and you don't need another rogue trader fucking with things.
Well, Jackal seems again. Well, I understand. I cannot repay you now due to how events went with, well, what I stumbled into. But,
No, that's perfectly understandable, and truly, I am happy to help. We will simply drop a document acknowledging your debt, and we will count a modest interest until you're able to repay it in money or favors.
I understand.
Excellent, I'll have my people present a draft to your people.
Oh, thank you.
And for the end of the meal, he's gonna present a dessert that's apparently an Eldari delicacy reserved for honored guests among their own kind.
I don't like it.
I'd try it.
Tastes a bit weird for the human palate, but it's pretty good. It's more of a display of influence and wealth because, well, those of you who have Eldari lores can roll for it.
I don't have Eldari lores, but I do know Eldari, at least basic knowledge
Yeah, like
of the language.
he kind of presents it like, something that's reserved for special occasions, even among the fucking knife ears, and well, based on your interactions with them, you can assume that this is extremely hard to get for a human. And
Next thing is what you say.
other than that, yeah, the meal finishes without further disruptions, and you will be presented with the paperwork he suggests. It's well, he's not scalping you, but given the time it takes for space travel, it's like, a reasonable interest rate, like you might get at a bank locally. But 4% or 5% of compound interest, when it might take a dynasty like a decade to turn its fortunes around. Based on how Rogue Trader is going. That's a lot of extra cha-ching that adds up.
I see.
So he's not scalping you. Like, if he was scalping you, it would be like 10 or 12%.
Yeah, okay. Reasonable.
Haha, House Dickinson never existed. This contract is invalid. Just immediately roll 20d100 to see how low your subtlety drops. As you publicly declare this.
Blessed.
Demi,
Yes.
later at night, you will be able to have your private meeting. Before then, the others return and you're able to exchange words with them if you wish.
How was the feast?
Where in the hell were you? And what were you doing?
Well, you were busy playing Rogue Trader, I was playing Dark Heresy.
I was doing a little bit of work.
I'll narrow my eyes at him.
Give you a nice little smile.
How are you not dead?
The Emperor protects. Simple as that. Now, gentlemen,
Fucking Knowles.
I
I'll
might
just
be.
fucking walk away and go lay down in
Hmm.
the very lavish bed, prepared, as if I've had to deal with this bullshit for fucking like
Mm-hmm.
a half a year.
Look to fucking Mikkel, and just go like, I'll be a bit late, so when I get back, I'll try to sneak as best I can to my bed, and I'll go to the meeting. Still have my combat shirt, like still armed, right? Like still as I was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, he's gonna welcome you into his personal office. There are many weapons hung on his walls, some of which may even be demonic based on past experiences with rogue trader houses you do not know.
Mm. Come in, look around.
Just gestures at the seat opposite him. Please sit.
Look at him. Very well. I'll sit down. So, Rogue Trader, how was the feast?
Most excellent. A pity that you missed it.
Hmm. Did Rogue Trader Dickinson give you any problems? Or any
Oh, his etiquette was adequate.
good? Now, I'd like to state some obvious things, so I'd recommend keeping your ears quite open.
Do go on.
Now, you obviously have known that I've been on Rogue Trader Dickinson's ship for a while, and it's led to some very interesting places. One of those places being this. Never thought I'd see that many caged Eldari in one place, but I suppose it's a feat in its own right. So, congratulations, Rogue Trader, on whatever expedition you went for that.
No, it was a rather lucky raid. It seems that this lot had been hit by something before, and this particular group. I was not aware that these arrogant Xenos had evolved to a hunter-gatherer society on some planets. It was a interesting experience. Luckily, tranquilizer darts still work on them.
Xenos will be Xenos, am I right?
No, certainly.
Now, how should I state this in the best of notions, one that you'd understand quite well?
Now, if you're gonna threaten me, just get on with it.
Oh no, I wouldn't think of threatening you. That'd be highly unprofessional. I'd rather put a suggestion.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you see, I'm flying with Rogue Trader Dickinson for various reasons. Various. And as such, I would require him, obviously, and his ship to be quite flyable. Considering the experience that occurred, well, it's difficult. But here's the thing. Now, if you were a loyal citizen of the Imperium and believe in the Emperor, I suppose favors can be due. Now, you see, usually after such a process of seeing all those Eldari, specifically psychic ones, we'd require some procedures to go through. Now, your astropaths, I believe, can testify to this, but they're quite unstable. And I mean highly unstable, either due to the malnourishment, near death experiences, or simply because they don't really know what they're doing. I'm going to go with the former. But you see, that's presented an issue. I've seen the cargo bay, I've seen the locations placed into, and, well, psychic powers that are unstable and can be rampant can have side effects, as you may or may not know, Rogue Trader. So as such, be due to the position I'm in and what we need to do, we're going to have to keep your ship a bit docked. Go through some go through some sweeping, sleeping, just in case nothing, no mutations, no warp fuckery, if you'd like to say that, occurs on the ship. Obviously, through that, we'd have to go through some of the crew, medical things, look around the ship in general, and the like. Now, I'm no businessman. I work for the Inquisition. So, but I knew that that'll take some time, and something I remember hearing from merchants and the like in my time of duty. Time is money, correct? So I'd like to propose the idea of don't fuck with Rogue Trader Dickinson in the slightest. And we might expedite the process just a little bit.
Inquisitor, let me stop you right there. I have not fucked with Rogue Trader Dickinson. I have aided him when he was in danger of losing his ship entirely, and I have in fact saved his dynasty and only requested a very modest reward for my trouble and the risk of going to a ship potentially infested with abominations and mutants like you so kindly mentioned. Now, if the Eldari are a problem, given the time I have spent and the state they're in, I don't expect they're gonna be making it to my next stop anyway, and I'll happily space a lot of them right now. But I do not see what cause you have to threaten my business. Given my actions so far, I have been forthright and generous, when I could have been far more demanding.
Both you and me know the dangers of those Eldari. Not just by the psychic presence, of course, but what one individual with a high rank and the like could do with them. Now, obviously, I'm not accusing you of being doing anything with those Eldari on Imperial homeland. I'm just putting out that
Well,
it's a
that
high
is
possibility.
actually curious because I was not aware that you could do such things with Eldari. Do elaborate, Inquisitor, please.
I can see it on on your face. I don't have to elaborate things that you already understand,
He
so I will
he
not.
actually looks genuinely curious to you. Like he knows that someone could probably do something, but he's
No,
you're
I'm
not.
not giving it. I'm gonna go with the presumption that essentially I know, and I don't want to give out the information.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll go easy. You vent those things out. We do a sweep of the ship as usual. Throw out some men there, and the usual.
I have 3 astropaths who have been monitoring them round the clock. There have been no flares of psychic power, no phenomena, and as far as the general observation of their state and their psychic potential, that simply seems to be a bleed of some kind, where they are slowly dying. Now, I don't know what is going on there, but I assure you the situation has been monitored ever since I was notified of it, and there have been no untoward happenings, so with respect, Inquisitor, you will not be trapping me in dry dock for 3 months while you sweep the ship. You are free to question the astropaths and verify that they have done their job properly, but that is the extent of what I will be allowing.
An interesting proposal. A rogue trader a rogue trader putting out the suggestion of what the Inquisition can or cannot do. I like that. That requires gut. Once again, I will repeat. Eldari, psychic. Once more, repeated. They present a threat. They might not have been spikes, as you mentioned. I'll check through those logs and the astropaths myself. But there's a passive thing. You may or may not have felt it yourself when around the astropaths or other psychers if you've ever encountered them, but there's always something. and I know that. I'm in that line of work. So, Rogue Trader, I'm sorry to say, but you're going to vent them, and we will sweep the place. Now, it's getting late.
Inquisitor, let me take a wild guess, but you are new to your position. You have the zeal of youth, even though you present a credible facade of realism. And, well, here is how this is going to go. I would like to be your friend. In fact, I would be willing to offer my ship to help you with whatever mission you're undertaking with Rogue Trader Dickinson, because frankly he gives the impression of a fucking heretic who recklessly stumbles through Eldari ruins. But you are not speaking to a serf. I am a noble of the Imperium, and as such I have authority and power of my own, and I cannot be easily pushed around on a whim. Now, if we can have a relationship based on mutual respect, nothing would make me happier, but you are not sweeping my ship. Deldari, spacing them, consider it done, that is no big issue. But you are not wasting months of my time.
Now, one thing before I continue with the negotiations. Once again, a man as experienced as you should still be careful of your word, and because from the insinuation at the beginning, it almost sounded like proper inquisitors, old inquisitors, seem to fall more on dubious lines. Now, I just want to keep that
Older
note.
inquisitors.
I would not. You will not.
You seem to be under the impression that you have far, far more power than you actually do.
And I will also present the fact that every word you keep on saying has a different meaning. I'm just trying to put that out as a precautionary tale. Now, the offer of a ship and such. Very well. I'll agree to that. When we require the need of your ship for any requirement, I'll call.
With the
But those are the-
understanding that, of course, such favors will be eventually repaid in ways that, of course, benefit the Imperium.
Those Eldari, of course, will be vented in the end. And I'd like to obviously watch that. Just to make sure every Eldari is accounted for.
Kia leans over his table, presses a button on a console embedded in it. Lieutenant of the Watch, please gather 8 ratings and escort my guest down to the special cargo and dispose of it. Let him witness the procedure. Just a muffled yes, sir. Right away, sir.
All right. I'm gonna go watch Eldari get vented.
The Eldari were vented. The Eldari were not the imposter.
I mean,
Well,
Yes.
in my eyes, they were imposters, but so is the Rogue Trader.
yeah, it's perfectly legit. The count is accurate based on what you saw before. Looks like one more of them has died in the meantime. And you can make another Psyniscience test with a plus 10 in their presence. Try and pick up more details.
Just failed it.
Yeah, you just feel what you felt before. It actually seems to flare up as they are extinguished. For a second, like all the pent-up energy is just released, but it doesn't feel like it's going anywhere. It's more like it's just going back into warp, just at a faster rate.
Gucci.
And yeah, just
Oh,
as the gunshots start ringing out, "Mercy, Mongai! Mercy!"
Little did they know this is mercy.
Not to them.
Not that sounds
Their
like a
souls are gonna get ripped apart by a fucking monstrosity. I
don't
don't think it's mercy.
look. I have demonology, but I don't have Eldari, so this is mercy.
Yeah, they are vented. You actually see two more bodies brought out that have been partially dissected and sewn back up again. And, they just, the lieutenant just informs you that the rogue trader ordered the Magos to dissect some of the departed ones to check for pathogens, cancers, etc.
Very well. Now, I'm with the lieutenant, right?
Yeah.
Lieutenant, if I may, and I'm just gonna describe the one person who showed me the middle finger, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And be like, and just take out if I can, basically just a few extra turns, just whatever to basically cover him. This man presented himself quite loyal and had guts. Let this be for some double rations, if I may. Sponsored by me.
I'm sorry, sir. I cannot accept that. However, I'm able to insert a commendation in his record on your behalf.
That'll do.
Okay, just notes down high-ranking member of Rogue Trader Dickinson's entourage recommends rating such and such as loyal and brave.
And gutsy. Like loyal and gutsy.
Just writes it up, presents it for you to sign.
Yep.
Do you use like your real name or just your Rogue Trader life? Do you just write down Inquisitor such and such?
Am I really an Inquisitor now? Yeah, I'll do it in my own name.
Yeah,
He's a good
looks
guy.
at it, looks up. Yes, sir, very well, sir.
He's a good guy. Godspeed.
You just used to settle to be 1d5, you know?
I don't care. He deserved it. It's not every day a scarred veteran keeps guard and shows you a middle finger.
Okay. You're escorted back to the Rogue Trader. He meets you in his office. Three figures in hooded robes with the telepathic staffs are waiting. Thought you might wish to discuss with the psychers, if you would.
Well, I shall. One at a time, if that's not, doesn't present an issue.
Oh, very well. I have some logistical issues to attend to regarding resupplying the ship. You may have the use of my office for now. I would appreciate if you did not try to break into the bottom drawer.
I shall not.
Goes out. Yeah, the astropaths, you can call them in one by one, interrogate them.
That basically just trying to get their information, see how it is.
Okay, give me an interrogate with +20 since they're all willingly cooperating.
Fellowship or willpower or intelligence. Like I can't roll with intelligence. Don't have that as the thing, so I'm gonna have to roll base. So I have 3 ticks, that gives me a +30, correct?
+20. First one is you don't take penalty.
Yeah, but no, it's my bad. 4 ticks, but 3 go over to first. So +30, +20, and +10 from coordinated. So should be +60, I believe.
Yeah. So it well, no. The skill doesn't count towards it maxing out. It's just circumstantial.
There we go.
Yeah, you go over it and you start getting a picture. It seems like the bleed was very slow at first, almost undetectable, and none of them seemed to have usable psychic potential that they could direct. But it just kept building, and over time it was like, once they took them off the planet, it was like a hole was punched in their defenses and they just started bleeding their soul stuff away and slowly unraveling until they started dying. Almost as if something was consuming them.
I don't know what you're talking about, fam. They were obviously hungry.
It's a strange issue, but there's extensive records on the precautions he took, and those scarred veterans were like, they were effectively, deaf, tongues cut out, couldn't spread any Xenos lies, wouldn't be able to hear any Xenos commands. He put the best troops he had on it. They had like an acolyte, like a tech acolyte, always monitoring this section, ready to vent it. They were, legit, securing the cargo.
Okay. Keep that, create a record, essentially, report, blah, blah. And that seems about good enough for now.
Yeah, you can log it with the Inquisition, and it's like 2 a.m. when you make it back to the quarters.
Yeah, do that. Obviously, have the pic recorder, send that in, and I will put on the notification, essentially, of this entire log is, with the report at the end, even if you vented. Keep an eye out.
I mean, as usual.
As usual. But more of a eye, 2 eyes. You know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But that should be it.
Yeah, they, effectively what you get back is, good job, good due diligence, Inquisitor.
Yup. Just as the Emperor predicted.
Okay, do you try to cause any further trouble for him? Or do you, leave it at that?
I'll leave it at that.
Good.
Couldn't make it so it's free or anything, but I have the potential to possibly use a ship when needed, and well, that's something.
If my deceive rolls went wrong, that could have fucked us hard.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, Demi, you way oversold it. An Imperial Noble of this level is...
That's good. That's okay.
Remember how you came in with, like a fuck ton of Heresy and Mutant on board after just having, planned to sell a fuck ton of Xenotech from an Eldari cruiser?
Yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah, like the same kind of fishing expedition from the other side, essentially.
No, I get it. That's entirely what I was kind of planning to do. Besides, I kind of am basically fucking ad hoc, just yeet.
Mm-hmm.
So, entirely okay.
Okay. Then you're able to get off the ship, sign the paperwork, and otherwise are able to discuss freely among yourselves about what the fuck just happened.
I'm not going to bring it up unless somebody asks.
Did you find anything useful, or did you just almost blow our cover for nothing?
I found something interesting. I'm a bit curious. What did you all think might possibly be down there?
Probably some completely benign illicit goods that we could not have fucking gotten any use out of. And you probably just fucking got him a citation, if anything.
Illicit goods? I suppose that can be viewed as that.
By the way, due to how you handled this and the pressure you exerted him, I have rolled 1d5 subtlety that you have gained. Since you have gotten him to, well, he figures he knows what's going on and where the weirdness is with your ship now, and he has reason to be quiet because he figures he has a potential in with a newbie Inquisitor.
Nice.
Meko, what do you think might have been down there?
Possibly psychic artifacts.
Now combine the two. And
psychic artifacts? Isn't that every psychic artifact?
A shipment of daemon weapons!
okay, so far so good. Now, add Eldari into that, and I mean not as an attribute, but I mean as an actual living thing. Eldari psychic slaves, essentially. About
slaves?
I think I count about 56 of them, approximately.
52, roughly, with the dead ones.
Essentially went through the astropaths. Not sure if you felt it or not, Mikkel, but there was a very unstable psychic presence down there. Went to check it. Seems to be all the Eldari down there seem to have well, sort of, how should I describe this as Yashpez did? Bleeding psychic energies into
Unraveled.
life. Yeah, it wasn't pleasant, all in all. Now, obviously, that's one thing to be worried about in a sense, and the second one was, well, what was he going to do with them? Yeah, he had a claim, but well, I can claim a lot of things, and so can he. But yeah, it was interesting.
In the future, you might want to consider being less gung ho, but other than that, it was a good idea to check.
There would have been. I'm not a man of subtlety, I'd like to note, and as can be noted, therefore, any attempts of my subtlety would have just been of a liability. So I'd like to excuse my behavior, but it all worked out in the end. No, do not.
No, it does not. Fucking excuse me? That's
Chris-
for senior inquisitors, you can't.
Chris does not like jack of all trades.
That's like, I can do everything all of a sudden. Okay?
And there's another one improvement, which is like I can do everything actually decent and get a +10 to everything I do.
Mm-hmm.
Feels good.
Those should be tier 3 talents.
Yeah, I suppose. Now, I would like to say I wasn't able to negotiate the price. Obviously, he, as a noble and, well, a sense of pride, I suppose, as well, wouldn't have budged. I threatened with time, but I was able to secure the assistance if we ever need a ship in the future. And considering what we just went through, we might need a ship in the future.
Just at the price of further indebting yourselves to this guy. Meanwhile, in the family of ledgers, favor from the Inquisition, estimated value 5 profit factor.
So how was it on your side?
Survivable.
If a bit, not quite heretical, but lavishly decadent.
Let me guess, considering the Eldari I found, and Rogue Trader, how many Xeno stuff did you eat?
The vast majority, other than that last bit, were not Eldari. You know, more minor Xenos race products. But
I'm combining the two. Eldar, Xeno stuff, etc.
yeah, like
Quite a variety of different small delicacies, but all of them from different cultures, all of them seemingly within his legal abilities when it comes to his trading agreement, from what I vaguely know of it.
I'm gonna go on a big whim and say the cigars were like that too. They were very much not to my taste.
Oh, you mean the weird spicy ones?
That'd be the ones.
I mean, yes, you're supposed to smoke them for a bit and, you know, actually inhale enough for the pain to go away. That means just tastes and throws it away. It's like completely the wrong way to enjoy them.
Go.
You know, some people like spicy foods. This is just that warm, pleasant feeling without the actual food.
God bless.
They're made with jalapenos, clearly.
Now, getting to the actual serious parts. Now that we've dealt with this issue to the best of our abilities, what's next? Ship's back. We got some decent officers. How's it? Never asked you, Mikkel. How did the crew recruitment go?
You got like 100 guys.
Poorly.
Right. Well, can you give us at least an estimate how much more longer we gonna be in port?
A while if it continues this trajectory. Months, perhaps.
At 100 per month, you're gonna be here for 13 or 14 years, I think.
All right then. Well, since we're done with that, I'm gonna go and see how the rest of the crew is holding up. See how the people down in the lower decks are holding up for the time being, and guess how that's our priority. Well, at least that's what I know be my priority. Do any of two of you have anything else you'd like to do?
I would like to gather more crew, preferably more than 100 this time.
I'd like that too. Jordan?
I'll help him get more crewmen.
Okay.
All right then.
So we'll wrap up with this last bit then. Demi,
Yes.
you go up to the ship. Shuttle flies up. The ship seems dark. The external lights are mostly turned out except for the bare minimum. You enter the docking bay. There is a group of people waiting for you. As you see as the ramp comes down and you start walking down, they all just snap perfect Aquilas. You see the face of the officer you interrogated previously. Half of the Aquila carved across his face.
Beautiful.
God bless.
You see on his palms like 2 dots and a downturned grin, like kill marks going up his wrist.
I returned the Aquila, obviously.
Sir, the ship is ready for inspection, sir.
Let's proceed then, shall we?
Kia starts taking you through and details the battle spot. This is where we entered Prometheum in the hall to burn the cat cultists, sir.
Good choice, good choice.
And, it seems that almost all the surviving crew has at least started on their face Aquilas.
Wonderful. I'm glad to hear it.
Perfection. Now, the only thing I'd, after the inspection, blah, blah, just see who would be theoretically the highest ranking and simply start giving them the list of the officers and the stuff I found and, go through them essentially, right?
Yeah,
And-
no, you can do that.
Yeah, that's essentially going to be me. I'm just going to take care of that. And, since we're going to stay here, I guess that's going to be my next project when we do next session, which is try and get, the officers and stuff like that to be at peak point.
So you lost, what was it, like 4 or 6 stormtroopers in the fucking thing.
4.
Okay.
Yeah, in the temple. And that's because we forgot about them. They just disappeared.
They just took a journey of their own. In another 150 years, you might see them.
I'll wait a second. This actually even makes time with all the time fuckery. Temporis.
Another
Oh,
10
God.
will have fallen in the battles and the chaos spawned abominations that popped up. And I think you had like a metric fuck ton of frag grenades. Just assume like 100 of those have been poached for various fights as well.
Obviously.
So, other than that, your resources are as you might expect them. Some of the senior crew, there's a couple of spots missing where some of the better officers you recruited can go, but by and large, the command crew did their duty, and when it became clear that faith is the way, they got with the program.
Just as the Emperor predicted.
I'm so glad they came around.
Yeah. Out of character. Just all according to Keikaku.
Yeah, there are regular sweeps of all sections looking for signs of cat worship at this point. Like, they are paranoid about it. The ship is being regularly double and triple checked by different teams, you know.
If I ever get along to it, I'll essentially assist as well, because I have a new talent called Rites of Banishment, and I'm just going to use that for flavor to help with the sweeping progress, essentially.
Oh, that's not... The ship is swept. This is them maintenance sweeping. Like, the same area is gonna be checked over the week by at least 4 or 5 different teams at different times to ensure that no team getting corrupted will lead to shit, you know, escaping.
Okay.
It's like, you know, it's
Yeah.
it's if
Fun.
the ship is running for an extended period on like a higher alert level, that will be hurt. But while the ship is running, you know, normally they are fucking looking for that thing because now they know.
I'm so proud of the officers.
This little Timmy, all of 14 years old, was a cobbler's apprentice. Now, zeal in his eyes, face still raw and infected from the quill he carved himself with a shotgun stalking the halls.
He'll be a good soldier.
He already is one.
Praise the Emperor! Bang! Okay, now the two of you who have not seen this, how do you go about recruiting new crew, and what do you promise them? What do you tell them to expect? Goes on a
Spread the
ship.
em-
Yeah, go on.
to spread the Emperor's light to far-off corners of the galaxy.
So you're recruiting for the Guard? Isn't that their slogan?
Arcturians do that as well.
Okay. Sure. Dolphus, what do you tell them? Or Rogue Trader Dickinson?
That there is glory to be had in crushing the Xenos, and that every man will have his share of the profits from killing them and destroying all that they love for the Emperor.
Then goes on the ass end of nowhere and just has the crew sit there for 2 months orbiting a dead planet.
Yes, exactly. That is the way.
You can roll Imperial Creed with Fellowship or Deceive with Fellowship.
Which one of us?
Both of you. This is for the next month. And I mean, you can join in because, you know, just visiting the crew is relatively quick.
Flat?
I'd say so. Yeah, they're hearing a lot of this, even though it sounds good.
Yeah, sure. I'll do the using infused knowledge.
Okay.
Using Imperial Creed because I do not have Deceive.
Okay, we'll just set this to where it should be.
Is Imperial Creed? Oh, Imperial Creed is Scholastic Law, right?
Yeah.
So Calculus Logic does get a +10.
Okay.
Actually, nah, fuck it. I have a single fate point and we're ending anyways. We just get 5 degrees of success.
Okay. 5 on you and 5 on Jackalor. So, each degree of success is about 10 points of crew. Because, you know, 2,000. So that is enough to refill it. Like, you overfill, but the crew sifts out the weak.
Nice.
And you can set your crew rating to 40. In fact, I'll do it for you.
I'm so glad I got it to 40. Yes.
Okay, and next session, if I don't forget, we will be meeting the new navigator and their entourage.
Yay!
Godspeed.
Okay, Demi, thoughts about this session?
Pretty good overall. I actually really liked it. Specifically the moment. Middle finger, and I'm like, oh, I can do the same. It was brilliant. But yeah, like the session. Yeah, like that I actually did Dark Heresy. So yeah, fun.
Okay, Adolphus, your thoughts?
I gotta say, succeeding in the deceive roles related to fucking making Demi out as being the random infiltrator fucking over. Gotta say, pretty good. That was fun.
Okay, Jackalor.
It's fun watching Demi just go yeet into everything about the ship.
He's lucky they weren't actually heretics because he could have gotten
Yeah, they
space
were
so
killing
easily.
everything.
Oh, yeah, but even then I would have eaten. Also, what do you mean they're
Yeah.
not actually heretics? Hold up. From my perspective.
Yeah,
Rogue-
that's actually a pretty normal fucking rogue trader vessel. And
Trading slaves is not illegal. They were not psychic goods when he loaded them on board, Demi.
yeah, they only became psychic goods because their souls were being eaten.
Yeah, I know. I was just adding that basically to the whole bullshit of, hey, we might have to sweep your ship and, you have to go through that. Then we're going to have to go through that. Ooh, that's going to take some time too. Stuff like that, essentially.
Meanwhile, he's there like, I'm a loyal Imperial citizen and they have like this many problems? No fucking way they're gonna bother. Fuck them.
I wanted to do it, but I'm like, let's not, because we're gonna lose that ship opportunity. And fuck me, like it might not seem a lot, but when the time arises, we might actually fucking need one.
Mm-hmm.
But if it wasn't for that ship thing, if you didn't offer anything, I would have tried to fucking send the sweep.
I mean, yeah, that's the kind of situation where you can effectively lose influence without really getting anything out of it because,
Thank you, Chris. You realize how little I care.
Yeah, no. Like, no, it sounds like the kind of thing many of us would do just to spite the fucker. I know, Demi. Christ, the amount of shit we did to spite people in D&D, even with Epic being in charge.
I mean, they deserved it. It's not like they had a personality.
Yeah, if someone bothers you at the wrong moment, you cast Lightning Bolt. It's a simple equation.
Yeah, and simple as
Just
that.
yeet down the line of houses. Boom!
I still love that. I remember a scene, essentially. There was like a crowd around you, like, because you were throwing copper coins. And my approach was to, okay, pick one bitch up, yeet. Pick the other one, yeet. Hey, look, an open path.
I don't approve.
God bless. Man, I love being yeety.
I'll keep that in mind.
Bro. If I got locked in there with a demon, I was still going to fight my fucking ass off. You fucking
If they were
know it.
heretical, you would have been very dead very quickly. With whatever was in that room.
Oh, that's entirely okay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I-
it fits your character.
Yes, I die for duty. And I'm a fucking Inquisitor now, which means my fucking weight is even higher. Well, soon to be Inquisitor. Properly.
Chris,
Yeah?
what's our speed?
300. And
Okay.
something you should consider is that you, at this point, can, in theory, requisition people by spending influence. Just general, characters with a set amount of XP based on how much influence you spend. So,
I would.
consider starting to build your own retinues.
Yeah, I already had that like as an idea. That's what was the original like officer idea. But I'm like, let's not lose more influence because I'm not sure how expensive it's gonna be. So I'm just
Didn't
gonna
we
go with
agree
it.
we're going to buy Yarnolf?
I
You
mean,
did.
yes.
But you know, like you could just go like one of you requisitioned him, but
It ends up being expensive.
that
for that
ends
one.
up being expensive. But then you have your own pet space marines. Like, see, I see you have 4 acolytes. Yeah, no, kill. Fetch that Inquisitor! Space Marine goes flying with the axe. Body parts start flying.
Yeah, for Yarnolf, we should all pitch in personally.
Oh yes.
Now, the Navigator does not count towards this, but the Navigator comes with a catch. It's essentially a deal with the devil. There's gonna be some shit he tries to do to fuck with things in his own favor.
Of course.
Yeah, no shit.
That's to be expected.
Alrighty. Well.
I will note one thing.
Uh-huh.
With a crew rating of 40, maybe that new Navigator isn't going to be as good. Or similarly enough.
I'm gonna give him at least 2 ticks of Navigate, so he's gonna be at least decent, and he's gonna have at least a fate point, even if I decide to be like...
Yeah, that's fair.
So... yeah. It's not gonna be shit.
Yay.
In regards to the ship this fucker had, I suppose I could give you the components, because these would be available for records. They're not hidden, at least not for this ship. Lance weapon at the front, standard pattern macro cannons, compartmentalized cargo hold, and extended supply vaults.
Nice.
Extraordinary vessel.
Yep. Well, for long range trading mostly.
Fair enough.
Occasional raiding when you can lance the defenses from orbit.
I even thought when you first told me like I feel like psychic stuff in the lower deck, the first thing that came to my mind was, ooh, they got a teleportarium.
Most teleportariums don't leak warp energies. Yours is special, Demi.
In a
Really?
bad way.
Okay. Maybe if we combine it with a runecaster, guys, it'll fix all the problems.
Unfortunately, you would have to steal the Hammer of Light first. And it seems that the Inquisition is... at this point, they would be essentially sweeping the vessel and starting the process of recrewing it. They need the power projection it offers.
Oh yeah, it is a fucking good ship.
So it's not going in the sun, I see.
It's not gonna be our ship, sadly, though.
Mm-hmm.
I miss having, what was it? Was it 2, 3 fucking layers of void shields?
It was 3. It was full battleships, allotment of void shields.
Insanely powerful.
It's so fucking good. And the void shields glowed bright red. Or was it gold?
No, it
or
was
something like that.
gold.
Yeah, gold.
Gold.
Yeah, fun.
Flip the switch, turn on watch it.
Hey, that's one thing that was never. I'm not sure if Arminius took that. What happened to that one unique weapon that was from like the fucking Night Ravens or whatever the fuck Space Marines were?
That's in the Inquisitorial Vaults as suspicious.
Plus.
Yeah, no, because Olaf couldn't use it and Zarkov got captured, so...
Zarkov got yote. I'm here's the thing though. I'm not even sad for killing Jacklor's character. I'm just sad that Jacklor spent money on a character that just died.
No, that's beautiful. That's a beautiful amount of dedication.
I'm sorry, Jack.
Like we all
It's
saw...
sad that we weren't able to accidentally recover Zarkov through stealing him from a very dead second copy of a certain Inquisitor.
It's like we all knew that he was a fucking hypocrite and that Jackalour was boasting his ass off. But Demi was the one who got to nail him to the wall.
Feels good, man.
Okay, well, it's late.
Yeah.
So, say goodbye, everyone.
Oh,
Bye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye, everyone.